try to hit the little one without hitting the big one. He told it better, but he was 3 wins to the sheet at the time.
To the Zoom Test Kitchen where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing.
David, we're losing a lot of the music part.
From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen. And look who we have here. Lots of good-looking people. I'm sick, so you're not going to want to listen to me the whole time. So hopefully we got other people here who can talk a lot. I know at least one guy can talk a lot. Mike Latta, how you doing, sir? You knew I was coming to you.
You
unmuted before I even said your name. That's fantastic.
You saw me going after the Stream Deck button. You did indeed.
How you doing, Mike?
Doing good, doing good. How was the week, David? You know, got to tell everybody what you're cleaning up. You have to let us know about that.
So I do want to report about that. There have been a few different things that I've done, and I think, well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. What am I coming? What am I coming in at now? Let's see. What are you all receiving? I should have had this open before. Let's see. So right now I am sending 1080. So that is better than it was before. So, and I guess, yes, we'll talk about what I did to hopefully fix that. But before we do, Mr. Peter Sargent, how are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
Good to
Spent
see you.
most of this week editing a video, not creating
Okay.
video.
What's your editor of choice?
I used to, because I'm shooting a 6K camera, I'm using DaVinci.
Very nice. Very nice. Mr. Jason, how are you, sir?
Hello.
What? Hello. What's doing?
Well, thank you. It's another beautiful day in Central Florida.
There you go. I'll take it. And Mr. Hasmuck on vacation. Where are you, Hasmuck?
I'm in a town called George, which has a very well-known golf estate owned by Hasso Plattner, the founder of SAP. And he just merely gave it to his daughter to manage. So yeah, I am their guest.
Well, there you go. Not bad, Hasmuck. Not bad.
Yeah, so my meters machine decided to reboot. So I'm just busy doing that.
Well, I'm more happy that you're here. I'm also happy that Robert's here. How you doing, Robert?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. And you may have a cold, but I watched a part of Rundown this morning. I watched it on YouTube, and I was really impressed by the way that you run the show, manage the show in terms of cutting and switching, and it was very clean. It was very smooth.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Try and keep it clean. All right. Beautiful. So let me give you the quick update on what I did. So right now, first of all, my CPU, I have about 40% roughly idle right now, which is much better than last time. Last time I was at 20% idle. So I did a few things. The first thing I did is I unplugged everything because, as it turns out, the powered hubs that we all use, those can sometimes really mess with your CPU. So I unplugged those and plugged them back in one at a time. None of them were a problem. I think they just needed to be physically unplugged in some way. And then the other thing was I had a process called contacts running, and I didn't know what it was. I'm still not sure what it was, but I force quit it. I reset it. I cleared the cache for that particular thing. I don't use iCloud contacts on here, so it wasn't that. But those two things, and sort of essentially rebuilding my machine, not rebuilding my machine, but getting rid of a lot of stuff, rebuilding all of the logins that start with the machine, one at a time. And it seems to have worked. I'm back up to 1080 now. I did find actually this morning that on my activity monitor, I have something called UVC Assistant that's running at around 60%. That is, according to ChatGPT at least, that should not be at 60%. But the reason it's there is because that manages all of your webcams. So any USB camera that comes in. Now, I don't have any USB cameras. Well, I do, but not on this machine. But I am using a Camlink. And Camlinks send back full frame or whatever it is, 4K back. Mm-hmm. And so that's why that UVC assistant is so high. But other than that, it sometimes our machines just need to be unplugged, pat them on the back a little, let them get some sun. I don't know, give them some water and a cookie. But that's what it was for me.
Good stiff scotch.
Give them some scotch, yeah. Just getting rid of a lot of cruft and this is a Mac Studio. It's the original one. It's the M1, but still. So in any case, I'm still running right now. I've got Ecamm open. I've got Zoom open. I've got activity monitor open. One of the things I did find, by the way, is you don't often realize how many things are necessary to log in and start up without you doing it. So, for example, my Elgato key lights control center from my Elgato key lights, because I turned everything off. Every time I turned my computer on, my key lights weren't connected. And for any of you who have Elgato key lights, they are the worst thing in the world to connect. They're just awful. So I got them working again, but that rectangle, which moves windows around for me, a lot of my buttons stopped working because those background processes weren't turned on anymore. So I had to, again, slowly turn each of those on, but it's working. So in any case, it's working.
I'm still quite amazed that you've got such a high usage on a Mac Studio, because as I said last week, I'm just on a straight Mac Mini M2, and I'm hovering around 16-18% usage. That's 80% free. So it's,
what do you have plugged in?
I've got two 2K monitors. I have a USB sound card. I have my Ivy connected to the USB, sorry, and just looking around, and that's it.
So that it may be that I've got two powered hubs. I have a not the camp. I have an OWC. I have two OWCs.
When you say powered, are you powering them from the Mac Studio?
No,
or are you
no.
powering them externally?
With the big hunkin' power brick. Like I have two of those big ones plugged in with almost every port filled. I've got an iPad connected. I've got 1, 2, 3 monitors, 3 Stream Decks, and then a bunch of cameras, plus a Rodecaster Pro. So it's probably that. It's probably all the gear that I've connected. If this UVC assistant wasn't, it's the third biggest thing right now on my activity monitor. Ecamm kernel task, which is just my computer, is the biggest. Ecamm Live is next, and then Zoom just popped up, but and then UVC assistant at 63.4%. So I have a feeling that's what the problem is. It's not a problem. It's just I have a lot of stuff connected.
Usually, when you have a very high current draw on the USB ports, you also see a drop in the resolution for the incoming camera feed.
Right,
it's coming through.
Robert, you're coming in very soft.
Oh, okay, I can see that now. I can see it. I haven't checked it earlier on.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do.
I have a feeling that I'm probably doing this all wrong. I mean, that is to say, if I really wanted to be smart about this, I would probably go the Andy Lehman route and use a Blackmagic card deck link, and plug everything in that. And I'm still MacGyvering things together, and doing it that way means that I'm asking a tremendous amount with all this crap, plugged into my computer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
having said that, I'm still setting 1080. So I'll take it.
Can I just do a quick sound check and see if there's any change? There's a little bit of a change, but it's not much.
Much better.
Okay,
yeah.
Thanks.
Hi, Andy, by the way.
Hey, how's it going?
By the way, a plug. I bought the Cooler shirt this morning from Andy's store. It says "Created to Create." I love that so much. I was created to create. I'm excited. I'll wear it. I got the black one, so I can wear it on the show.
Great, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Playing with Isadora to create white. Wait, you created those white dots with Isadora? Wait, are you guys seeing what he's doing?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So it's there.
Oh, you gotta talk us through that. That's cool.
I mean, it's simple. I'm just bringing my camera into Isadora and putting a dot filter on it, and then sending it back out via NDI. and throwing that underneath my camera.
But
in
how
Zoom.
how are you? I don't running your hand
Hold
under your camera.
So hold on. Let me take my top camera off. There. So it's really just a like
What it's a function of the
yeah, it's just a filter, a video filter in Isadora.
It's kind of cool though. That would actually be a great way to. Oh, so and then you put another camera on top. I see.
On top of it, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. That would be kind of a fun way to do those. You know, when you have to hide your identity, instead of blurring, you could just put them behind white dots.
mhm.
I like that. That's
There.
cool. Hey, how you doing? Good. Good. Where'd you get a heart with the yellow stars going on? Oh, that's when you just click the heart thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had dancing yellow dots. All right, cool. Bringing it back to Jeff standards. Mike, what does that mean? What are we bringing back to Jeff standards?
Oh, it was Jeff's normal thing for us to actually have a box with the outer graphic.
Should we?
Jeff used to do that all the time.
Oh, if that's the rule, I didn't know that was the rule.
I wouldn't say it was a rule. It was something that Jeff did. And then
Oh, okay.
a few of us like me, I like having the different effect, and I could change. That's a video looping in the background. So
have you ever found, so when about 4 years ago, I also had I wonder if I even still have it. I don't think I even have it. I also had a moving background with a little frame. And I remember, it may have been Alex Lindsay mentioned that moving stuff can really get in the way of either, I forget if it was resolution or frame rate, but it's harder it makes your computer work harder or something like that.
It makes the encoder harder.
Oh,
so in this case, in this case, when it comes to my setup right now, that's actually it is its own input into my ATEM. So the ATEM is taking all the brunt of everything to make the video that you guys are seeing right now, including bringing me in and including the actual video that's in the background looping. That's another input that I'm just keying over top. So so all the hardware, all of it's being done in my hardware before I'm even bringing it into my PC. So the PC is basically just thinks it's just a video and audio.
Gotcha.
Bring it in.
Gotcha. By the way, I got a new pop-up when I started this meeting, which said that I can now share clips. So if you go into your share settings and click on advanced, you have this new clips thing here. I intentionally did not press on it because I wasn't sure what would happen when I did. So I'm going to click share. And so now it brought me to find what clip I want to share. And again, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen here. So hello and welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen. My name is David Paskin, and I'm joined by an amazing group of Zoom experts here in the kitchen. Let's go around the room and say hello. So this Mike, why don't you start us off? Yeah, so this was the AI, the Zoom AI thing. No, wait, am I still screen sharing or no? Did it stop after that?
You did stop, yeah.
I X'd it out, okay. But that came through like a regular old screen share? For everyone?
That's what I saw. I did not see what it was on YouTube at the particular moment.
Okay.
I'll double check what that was.
So in any case, so now you can share clips easily. You don't have to open them up in a browser and, you can click them right from there.
Yeah, it did play full screen on YouTube.
Oh, great. Okay. Fantastic. By the way, we did get an update on Wednesday. The update was delayed by 2 days. And this was that big one that we had talked about last week, with the redesigned video settings interface with improved appearance controls, which honestly, I went in and I saw no difference whatsoever. But let's pull that up so we can see. So here's the video settings again, and it says redesigned video settings interface with a camera tab renamed to video, okay, and separate sections for camera and appearance settings. Oh yeah, okay. I'm not sure. What, am I missing something? Is this?
Well, the video is up to the first one on the left. That's your camera tab.
Yeah. Is this? But they're not really tabs because it's just one.
Yeah,
thing
it's
that
just
you
a way
scroll
to
down.
get you into shortcut. So the biggest thing that
Yeah.
I noticed with this update, and that leave it right there, David, on appearance. So the auto framing appears to be turned on by default.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of
Really?
let me tell you what a pain that is. So
Oh,
this
interesting.
webinar I was doing last night, and folks were, I guess, in their audience members were in their bedroom or something like that, right? And so they stepped off frame to fold their laundry. And thanks to that little handy feature, auto frame, Zoom followed them right over to the bed where they were following folding their laundry.
So I just opened up Zoom on another computer and confirmed that, yeah, it is turned on by default. Wow.
And so how this relates to the appearance tab is if you want to tell your folks to turn it off, now they have to click on video tab on the left, appearance tab on the right, find auto frame.
No, they
turn it
actually
off.
don't, because in the menu from next to video, it's right there. Auto frame my video is an option right there. So you don't actually have to jump into the back end.
Oh, okay. Within the side, let's see here. Yeah,
Right.
there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
But the fact that they have that on by default is I mean, again, if you're just using a regular camera, then it's probably not the end of the world.
I mean, where it's handy is, if you've got grandma on her iPad sitting down in her big lazy boy chair. I hope I didn't mention too many specific products there. These are not paid endorsements. And she has a tendency to kind of hold it off to the side because she wants to look at the screen instead of looking at the camera. Zoom will follow her over, so she's actually in frame. Okay, that's a good use. But I mean, there are times when, well, like if I'm using PowerPoint as a background, one of the options, okay, and I purposely want my panelists to sit off frame so that it gives us space to have a PowerPoint. Well, auto framing mucks that up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually Ray, what are you showing? That's how
I do the
Yeah.
framing. Yeah, but I build it into OBS. I don't have the fancy stuff you have.
No, that's OBS is the fancy stuff. That's and Mike, you were just playing with yours. You were what happened to the red? Or you showed this last week also.
Yeah. So you'll see now. So I actually I'll do my stinger and then I'll go over to my webinar slide. And this was actually Hesmuth that I showed this to last week about the auto framing. So I've got it enabled now. So as far as it's concerned, I'm in perfect scenario. But once I do my little stinger, it's like, whoop, nope, we want to move into those two people over there.
Great. That's so funny.
And then when I do that, that is actually what's actually happening. So there you go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn that off immediately.
I will say I was on a call. I was teaching Wednesday, and one of these are adult students, and I was spotlit, so I don't think it really mattered. But one of my adult students stood up and didn't have any pants on him. He had briefs on, but he just forgot. And like I said, I was spotlit, so I don't think anyone else saw it. But he happened to be the last speaker, so for me, he was my active speaker. In any case, auto tracking would have actually come in pretty helpful in that moment. If it could have tracked back up to his face, though.
You don't know what it's going to focus on based on that little
It
clip
looks
that
for an
Mike shared.
eye. Stop it. It looks for an God.
Just saying, test and
Can I
verify.
just come back to the clips for a second? The
Oh,
clip
yeah,
that you
sure.
shared. Did you post that message in the chat when you shared the clip, or was that automatically generated?
What happened?
Have a look at the chat.
Look at that.
Okay.
Noticed
it and commented on it.
Well, okay, so everyone, look at, here's what he's talking about. That's I did not at all. So here's what he's talking about. So apparently, as soon as I shared the clip, this is really nice. I am sharing this clip and then a link to the clip, and presumably when anyone clicks on that link, it will open up. What did it open? It opened up. Is this a browser? No, it opened in Zoom. It opened the clip right there.
In theory, you did open a browser because Zoom Workplace is a browser.
Yes. But I'm saying it didn't open like Safari or something. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Wow, look at that.
And when I clicked on it, I got exactly the same thing. So we can start commenting and doing
And there's
things.
also enable email registration in clip settings. So I can now capture guest email addresses before they watch, giving me better visibility into who's viewing my clips.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And well, I don't really want to enable that. I can edit clips. Wait, let's see what I can do here. Let me close the meeting chat. Wow, that's cool that it came into chat. I didn't see that. That's fantastic.
It also, David, too, while you're doing that too, it also came over to my personal workplace app as well from the meeting. So like last week, I was telling everybody that
team chat,
our chat,
right.
it goes into our team chat of the meeting.
Yep. So from edit now on clips, I can change basic information. I can change the thumbnail, title, description, tags. I can't, what is this? Why does this keep coming up? I don't want to do that. I can edit the video, which means I can add a clip, split.
Change where it starts and ends.
Yeah. Right, you can do that. Okay. And then, no, exit. What else? Add a call to action button. Oh, look at that. So wait, let's see. So I'm going to do add a link, zoomtestkitchen.com. Visit us online. I'll put it on the bottom right. We'll just leave it blue. Rounded rectangle. Add. So now, when you get to the end, what happens? Nothing. Was it to the end? Oh,
There
yeah.
it is.
Sorry.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, and then, so wait. Let's just see this again. So you play it, and then it just shows at the end. If you click on that, it takes you. It doesn't take you, so it takes you here. You have to click another link to continue. That's just security, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. All right. And then settings. Can viewers comment? Allow sign-in viewers to add comments. Viewers can see the transcript. Require guests register their email. This is the new thing. And then finally, there is custom branding. The video player, the background. Do I want to upload a JPEG? There's a lot you can do with these now. Here's the transcript. Oh, what else is there? Statistics. That's it. Nice. Okay. So when you share a clip into a meeting, everyone has access to that clip, presumably now in perpetuity. Go ahead.
I can't hear.
Your mic is muted.
She says, hold on a second. I'll throw it to Robert and then we'll come back to Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, I'm just looking at my Zoom workplace where I got the same message on the clip in my team chat. However, made quote said awesome that we can share that now, and I can see that. However, Jason made a comment, and it says that this message is encrypted and can't be displayed here.
I'm sorry, on the clip itself?
Just below I'm in the Zoom workplace, and in the team chat for Zoom Test Kitchen, and the clip appeared there, just like it appeared in Mike's workplace. And underneath that, the comments, and one is from and that's the exact comment that's in the chat, in the meeting chat. However, there's a second comment under there, which is Jason's comment.
I see that too.
And it says that Jason's comment is encrypted and cannot be displayed here.
Here it is.
That's
this message is encrypted and can't be displayed here. Huh.
Jason, how did you do that?
Well,
what's that about?
What's that timestamp so that I can follow it along in the meeting chat?
3:25.
That was your be right back, Jason.
Uh-huh.
Was encrypted. It was encrypted, not it. So again, just for everybody on YouTube, we saw the be right back within the meeting, but that one did not get relayed to our team chat where the other ones have been.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes, because that's a setting that I've turned on, and now I have to remember where it is. But basically, it's like sharing it across apps, so that things that happen in meetings stay in meetings, so that you don't get data leaking out.
But that's a user specific setting.
Mm-hmm.
So you can,
yeah, because I remember me specifically dialing it in, and it took some experimentation. Because I remember having multiple machines open and, playing a pseudo audience and blah, blah, blah. It's in my logbook somewhere. I'd have to dig through it because I don't remember off the top of my head exactly where it is. But you go into the web portal and you tweak a bunch of settings.
I'm in here now.
If I remember right, Jason, particularly at enterprise licenses, whoever is the supervises the enterprise licenses can set that ubiquitously across. So like a university could say, what stays in meetings at the university, it stays there. They won't go out.
I'm sure that could happen too, but like on this machine that I'm using right now, it's the Zoom professional license. It's not the Zoom business license. I am the account owner.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just simply saying.
I just don't remember. I'd have to look again on this particular. I don't remember if I set it at the user level or the account level.
Right.
I'd have to go back through my change logs, but yeah. So
I don't see it in the user level.
It's cool that you can do that, because when you're hosting meetings for other clients, you don't need stuff cross-populating and et cetera, et cetera. You don't need that data leakage.
Yeah, Robert, you actually brought up some of your clients have been like lawyers and such that don't want things to leave the meeting. This would definitely be something to enable for them.
Yeah, just wondering what else there is to enable.
You can also, if you haven't played with the encryption settings within Zoom, you can, I would recommend that you play around with it, experiment to see what will work in your region, because it is conditional, and with your software, especially if you're sharing cloud documents and stuff like that in a meeting. You do have to test for both of those.
I'm not seeing anything. I mean, there's so many chat settings. It's a little crazy.
A lot.
I'm not seeing anything, but that
While
doesn't
you're
mean
playing around with
something.
that, David, I started to type in the chat. Is anyone else noticing David's videos lagging behind his audio? Just a touch. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
No,
Robert's clear, Mike's clear. I'm only noticing that on David's.
great. Thanks. Look, I fixed my resolution. All right.
No, that's good.
God Almighty.
You're halfway there.
Complaint. Oh my God.
I just want to make sure it wasn't my machine. This machine just came back from the hospital not too long ago. So,
My head hurts.
sorry, Rabbi. Read two scriptures and call me in the morning. Thank you. Thank you.
They'll be here all night. They'll be here all week.
Yeah, that's right. And Jason has to say, try the fish, right? Yeah.
Are you with us?
Yes. Can you hear me
What-
now?
Yeah. What's up?
A good crack up at least once every time. Okay, help me understand why, with this new feature, which I think is great, that you can share a Zoom clip. Is it a setting? Like, why does it automatically assume it's a share like another share? Why is it dumping it into the chat automatically? Shouldn't that be up to us to do? Is that something we can turn off? I find that weird. Am I the only one?
That's a good question. You might want to show people something and not have them have access to it after the fact.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. Clips. Okay. Clips out of meeting clips. Clips sharing.
You share what you're looking at, David?
Yeah, I'm
Since
sorry.
you've got 1080p, we'll be able to read it today.
Yes, it will. I'm sorry. Let me blow this up for you. So, enable clips in meetings.
Well, there it is. You just had it right above.
No, it's right here. So you allow users to play clips in meetings. Meeting share configure in screen sharing. So the settings for this are going to be over in screen sharing. So let's do that. And there are no settings here.
No. Go back to the your prior screen if you can.
All right, hold on a second. Come on.
No, go back to the other one you were
I'm
on.
working on it. I'm just a little slow. For the love of God. It's not that simple. By the way, I'm using this ChatGPT Atlas browser,
Okay,
which
go
is not
go
100%.
go scroll up slightly towards the. Keep going up. Shareable link access, default settings for anyone with link.
No. That's not what you. No, but that means anyone who can view the link. As soon as you share it into a meeting, it's going to default share with everyone in the meeting. The question is, does it also have to default go into the chat?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And it says down here, this is the setting. I mean, this is the one. Enable clips in meetings. Meeting screen sharing controls this setting. Configure the details in screen sharing, but then there's literally nothing to control here. Nothing to change. Which is a little frustrating. Maybe that's a setting to come. I don't know.
Jason, I'm wondering if you ended up getting the clip with that setting enabled for you. Did you get a link to that clip in chat?
Did. I haven't clicked on it.
But you did get it. It didn't say encrypted or anything like your message did to us.
Nope.
Okay.
No, you're not encrypted to me, but I'm encrypted. Well, let me clarify. No, nothing encrypted to me. I've controlled that what I put in meetings stays in meetings.
If you do figure out where you did that, I'd love to. That's good information to share. I'd love to know that.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
got the
just
notebook
whatever.
open and digging, but I just realized this is a surprise. In the web portal, there's a data sources now that's been added into the account settings that controls third-party sharing. And I'm assuming that it's bi-directional sharing.
So data. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is what he's looking at. So here, so this is not in your user settings, your personal settings. This is in the account settings. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in here. Right at the top here, actually, under general is data sources. So Microsoft 365, Google, web content.
And that's Perplexity.
Wait, Zoom requires, oh, to delete inputs, outputs. Okay. I don't,
It's talking about companion here, so you can limit what companion can use as a data source.
wait, say that again.
It's you're specifically in the companion setting. So this is for Zoom AI companion. You can limit what it has access to as far as local file uploads, your Gmail, your Microsoft 365.
Okay.
When he says companion, he means the AI
Yeah,
Zoom
the AI.
Zoom Workplace AI companion. What a mouthful!
Right.
Correct.
Just realized I was zoomed in. Sorry about that. Okay. I guess I was hesitating before because I'm not sure why Perplexity is here and what Perplexity has to do with anything.
That's one of the contracts Zoom has for AI.
Really?
Yeah, they mentioned a lot of it at Zoomtopia last go
Oh, okay.
around.
And then there's local file uploads. So you're saying that we didn't have access to this stuff before?
Not all of us was here before. Now,
Okay.
when I say before when? It's probably been 3 weeks minimum since I've looked at this section in the portal, but no more than a month ago.
Gotcha. All right.
David, I've just gone into my account settings and typed in clips in the search bar.
Yep.
And there are quite a few additional settings that you can manage for
Are you in
clips.
your personal settings or
Account settings
account settings?
for the admin?
All right. So let me do that.
Okay.
Clips.
Just type in clips in the search, and then you'll go down and you'll see this sharing and out of meeting clips. Maybe we should just go through that.
Yep. So we got create clips, clips sharing, share clips and playlists. You can require a passcode, display the shared clips and playlist thumbnail, title, and description. Sharing in general. Then you've got clips out of meeting clips. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just scrolled by all this because it wasn't for in meeting stuff. But yes.
But question was, what do we do to stop these clips being shared outside of the meeting? So this may be one of the places that we should be looking.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Right. I considered only in meeting clips because it was shared in a meeting, but you're right. Putting it in the chat allows them to take it out of the meeting. Okay.
To the team chat.
Yeah. But yeah, so you can stop them from downloading it. That's for sure. But you can't. I wonder actually. Let's do a little. I'm not sure that this will work unless I restart Zoom. But I'm gonna.
But the one you have on your screen at the moment, the shareable link access default settings for clips and playlists.
Yeah.
Only invited members can view.
Right.
That theoretically should limit it.
It's right. So I was thinking about that. And then I thought, well, if I share it in a meeting, does that mean that you all get invited to the clip by default? But I'm not sure this will actually work in this meeting since I just changed that. But I'm going to go ahead and just try. So I am, come back over here. I'm going to do clips. And then I'm going to choose a clip, and this is the clip again.
Hello and welcome to the Zoom Test
it
Kitchen.
still works.
My name is David Pascal.
And it posted it again in the chat. Some of you try and click on it, see if you can get to it. I'm sure you can. I wonder if changing that setting and then joining. Yeah, I wonder if I have to refresh, like leave the meeting and then come back in, or someone else can try it if you want, and then you can kind of leave the meeting and come back in. And then restart Zoom and start it again to see if sharing
David,
it.
I actually had a little different of a reaction this time. It actually popped up into one of my browsers. It did not actually stay within the workplace app for me. When I click, when you said, "Can you click on that?" and I did.
Oh,
it actually pulled up again by default. I still have Edge running on my Windows 11 machine, and it popped up in as a tab in Edge. It didn't actually pop it up within the workplace app.
Did it pop up in Workplace for you, or in a browser? It did in Workplace. That's interesting. Huh. Well, I don't know.
I don't know if it's a Mac thing or a Windows thing. I don't know.
Well, here, you know what? I'm going to pass host Mike. Okay. You just stay host, Mike. You win the prize. Okay. So
David, if I can just follow up on these clips. I press the share button now to try and share a clip. I don't have any of my own clips, but this very clip that you shared has become available for me to share as a clip.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just try it out. Someone can try it out. Just go to the share.
That's fascinating.
I think it's scary more than fascinating.
Yeah. I just changed my setting to only invited members can view. So I'm gonna actually leave the meeting, quit Zoom, come back in, and then try and share.
No, I don't think that's the key. I think we need to restart the meeting for it to take the back end setting.
Hello and welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen.
Yep. Someone else.
My name is David Paskin, and I'm joined by an amazing group of Zoom experts here in the kitchen.
Peter's.
Let's go around the room and say hello.
Stop it.
Mike, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, there you go. By the way, it isn't obvious to me how to close that share. There's a little red X in the top right corner, but
Well, in my
That's
case,
the new web.
that's a Windows statement. I mean, on my Mac right now, I just hit escape and stopped it.
oh, I didn't know that. Okay, because it's still up for me.
Well, it's
It
still
is.
there, but I stopped it.
Right.
Operative word is I stopped it.
But to stop screen share?
No, he didn't. He didn't stop the screen share.
No, I know. I'm saying, but I
stopped
know. I
the
understand.
video.
I'm just saying that it's not entirely obvious it's not clear to me how to stop this screen share once it's going.
So let's test. Mike, you're the host, according to what I see in the participants panel.
Yep.
And Peter is sharing. Can you right click on Peter's name under three dots and have the option to stop the share?
Yeah, because
I can actually go up to the actual tab itself and actually say, stop participant sharing.
Yeah, you can do it from that tab.
Yeah. And that's the actual tab itself, the three dot. I didn't actually have to go to Pete.
yeah, I mean, what's interesting is, David, you're right. The X is not obvious because, particularly if you're a Mac user, you say close the window, go to the red dot in the upper left, right? That would be your normal way of closing a window. And if it does that, it presents me with the option to leave the meeting.
But even when you're just doing a regular screen share, and I see you, Andy. Oh, sorry. When you're doing a regular screen share, don't you get the red stop button at the top?
Yeah, you get the bar. You get the bar at the top.
Right.
That gives you all the controls.
But I didn't see that when I was sharing the clip.
No.
So it's
And as host, I did not see where you guys were seeing that the actual share? Was that on the screens tab, documents tab, or advanced?
Advanced,
Advanced.
and then there's a little box that says clips. You click on that, it gives you all the clips you have access to.
Or the clips that someone else has shared in a meeting that you now have
Well,
access to.
that's what I mean. That you have access to.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have that. Is that a Mac versus Windows thing is a question now.
Check. Are you up? What number are you on?
That is a good question. I did check
Well-
before the meeting. And
While you're looking, Andy, you want to jump in? Just please be safe.
Yeah.
Whether you're driving.
I mean, I don't know how scary it is. It's the same as if you share any normal clip with somebody else. If you go in and say share the clip with, if I say share it with David Paskin, it's going to allow him to have access. But as long as I can still go back in and revoke access to say people can't have it. So it's not like you're losing control of the clip. And I think we just need to make sure that we know that when we share it in a meeting, it gives them access after the meeting because it's now been shared with them. So you can always go back and revoke your access.
I'm going back in.
That's not really practical, Andy, because that would mean you'd have to do a process of going through, if you've got 100 people in the meeting, you're going through the 100 people. I think what we're looking for is a way of defaulting to don't share or don't give access.
Right.
Right. I guess my point was more of it would be the same as if you would go in to share the clip anywhere else. It's just a mindset of thinking, oh, it's only in, you know what I'm saying? I agree with you, Robert, that it is not necessarily practical. I think, but it's a mindset shift of where you're sharing it at. Because if you're sharing it in the meeting, I think you probably.
Hey, Robert, can you do me a favor? I see
assume that they ask not shared after the meeting is done. So yeah.
You're popping in and out, Andy. Can you see Robert? Can you see that clip still? Can you share that clip still? Because I just changed the settings on the back end as Andy suggested.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, I'm running 6.6.1.
So you're
I
behind.
can see it, but it seems as if I can't do anything with it. I can play it for myself. Unable to play this clip.
Yeah.
Because your view permission has been removed.
Yeah. So that's how you that's how you get around that. Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree with you, Robert. I think it's not practical, but at the same time, it's just more of a mindset shift because normally when you share something in the meeting, you think that the asset will be gone and not available after the meeting. Whereas this is essentially the same as just saying, hey, I'm sharing this with you if you were to go into the same club. So yes, it's impractical, but it's a mindset shift.
You know
how
what?
you're sharing it.
You know what? Like sharing docs.
So hold on a second. So I have two clips in this account. Both of them were set to anyone can public, basically anyone can see them. So now, before I come to you, let me just try. I'm going to try and share that second clip, which I have just set to only people who are invited. And I'm curious what happens.
Welcome, everyone, to the Zoom Test Kitchen. I'm your name, and I'm thrilled you're here.
Okay.
This is the space where we...
You could all see that and hear that, right?
Yep.
That is correct, but I can't see it on the list.
Right,
Share.
but you can't see it in the chat anymore. Right? I mean, there's something there, but there's no preview or... So I guess is the way to do it. So you have to go into clips when you create the clip, set the sharing. Let me just share this real quick. So I'm here in my Zoom app, and I went to clips, click on the three dots, and go to share, and then you can change it here. It was defaulted. I'm not sure if this is default or what I set it to, but it was set to anyone with the link, which is why you all had access to it even afterward. I changed it to only people with access. What it apparently then does is it gives you limited access during the meeting, but you don't have access
after the meeting.
So go ahead,
just want to lower my hand because I think that that's annoying. So yes, so it's still automatically dumping it into chat,
Right.
right? So that's like we can't get rid of that.
But
And-
you can't. But you all can't do anything with it in chat. You can't click on it or view it.
Yes, which kind of feels awkward as to why is somebody putting something in chat that as soon as we click on, right? Like, so that's still weird for me.
Yes.
And yeah, so just so you know, because I left and came back, of course, but with the prior clip set to the settings the way that you had it, I actually was able to email it to me at a different account and I still had access. So that's like, you know, that's like somebody having access to your content, right? So that's not great. And this setting will stick. This setting will stick to every clip that you make, right?
Okay,
It's not,
but
yeah.
yeah. If your sharing is set to anyone with the link,
Yes.
you've made the choice.
Yeah.
You're referring to the backend setting. Yeah?
Right. Now I wonder.
Yeah,
Hold on. Let's do a little experiment real quick.
Before you do that, David, just to follow up on what I'm saying, I clicked on the link in the chat in the meeting, and it's saying that I don't have permission, and I can send a request to view it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can actually do something with it, but I don't. It's not a direct. I have to request permission, send an email address to you. So
right. Same with me, because you changed the settings and I get that. And as I said, I still think it's funny that it's automatically putting something in chat that we don't have access to. But anyway, thanks.
So I just, on my other computer, recorded a clip because I'm curious, what is the default sharing setting? So let me pull this over here. So this is, I just recorded a clip and I'm not going to click anything. I'm just going to, I made the clip, done. Now, oh crap, I did it in the wrong account and I can't do it in this. Well, let me just jump into share and see what the sharing defaults are. It's defaulted to anyone with the link. That's the problem. That's backwards. In Google Docs the default is only people that you invite. So you've kind of hit on it. If this were the other way around, right? If this were defaulted to anyone, only people with access, and then we could go in and change it, that would make a lot more sense. Then you could still play clips during meetings, but they wouldn't necessarily be shared in perpetuity.
David, is that a setting on the back end though that we can change for defaults? Again, I'm driving, so I can't check it out, but maybe on the back end, can we set the default for sharing? I know we can for a lot of other things.
That's a great question. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, he's right. So right here in clips and sharing, I have it. Thank you. That was embarrassing, Andy. I have it set to default to anyone with a link. Now, again, I'm not sure what the default here is. I don't know. But if you change that to only invited members can view, then that should solve the problem.
Chances have you actually have changed that before, David?
Oh, very good. In the Zoom Test Kitchen account, or this is actually my personal account, I'm toggling garbage on all the time. But wait, this is my personal account. So let me actually go to I'm sure the Test Kitchen is the same. Because I just, by default for the Test Kitchen, I just turn everything on so that we can...
Yeah, I haven't toggled mine, and I'm looking at it's default in anyone with the link.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And what is it on the back end?
Talking about the back end.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
And I haven't changed that at all at any moment. So that's what it comes with as default.
Gotcha.
That's been my experience, not just with Zoom, but a lot of pieces of software. But I could say for Zoom and some of these other companies that make a lot of money off of third-party agreements, part of that is because they're sharing data and they tend to default to share everything. And you have to go in and look to close it down. Zoom's not the only one. Google's one of the few that defaults to private.
All right, so I'm looking now for clips. Now I can go back here. And oh, you know what? On your user settings, you don't even have that option. It's only in your account settings, which means that the one that I was looking at before are the settings for this also, because this is part of that same account. Okay.
So you have to tell your account administrator to go through and adjust the
Right.
settings, because they may not know that the default is open and everyone in their organization is leaking data.
Right.
When you think about it, we don't really understand the meaning of a lot of these settings in the back end. I think it's going to be useful to come up with like a checklist that you say, if you want everything to be maintained within your organization, go through this and tick this off. I'm just wondering how many things I have unticked or ticked.
It might be nice to have like profiles, you know. I want to, you know, I want the show everything to me and the world profile, and then I want, you know, the lockdown profile or something.
If
like
anyone from Zoom's listening, please develop more transparent labeling on this one. Be a leader in the area. Okay, because Microsoft is terrible. I could spend 30 minutes with y'all just in Microsoft Office alone, showing you where all your data leaks to third party. And there's a little checkbox that you have control over, but it's labeled in such a way that you would have no idea that you're sharing data. So Zoom, be a leader.
I also, for me, the issue is not the labeling. It's just, there are just so many settings. Like it's just, and I'm not complaining about that. I get it. I get the need, but it's just overwhelming. It's just overwhelming. You can customize your waiting room with clips.
You've done that, haven't you?
Well, I've customized my waiting room, but
David,
I didn't know you could do it with clips.
David, that's Mr. Frank that told us that.
I know. He's the smart one. Wait a second. How do we do that?
David, I thought you had a clip for the waiting room where it.
No. I have a video in the waiting room, which I made, but it's not a clips video. It's just a video. Go Blue Jays. She left. Okay.
I'll talk about the Blue Jays later. Go ahead, David.
I don't even know what that is. That like a sport team? I don't even know. Okay. Customized waiting room. A logo. Oh, look at this. Yeah. Right up at the top. Create an AI avatar clip to greet participants in the waiting room. That's new.
That's actually creating it and then putting it in there somehow.
David, I'm confused. I thought you created a video clip using an AR avatar of you, and then that was what was in the waiting room.
Yes, but not in Zoom. I did it in something called Lemon Slice. Completely separate.
Oh,
This
that was the part I missed.
Right. This is, you can use one of these guys to welcome people to your.
You can't use him. I've used him. It's
okay. Can't use him.
Please
Ivy.
find another one.
Oh, maybe Eli. I like Eli.
Do you have one of yourself?
No, no, but those are. I hate the ones of me. They're terrible. It did an awful job with me. All right. Let's do Eli, and let's say Boy, I'd really. Oh yeah, I want to do this. Here we go. Write a script with companion. Welcome my guests to the Zoom test kitchen. Hello. Well, that didn't work. I did the clip. I did this. Yeah, write a script with AI companion. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ugh, what is happening here? How do you get to that without? No, you hit return. Okay. All right, so write a script. Here we go. Okay. We'll keep. It says a gastronomic adventure, but that's all right. Estimated duration 51 seconds. Okay. All right, so that's working on that. So it's just creating a clip. It's interesting that it didn't let me choose a clip that was already here. Right? Unless I don't really want to delete this because I don't want to lose it, but well, I'll just do it. Remove. Oh, there it is. Upload from clips. Okay. So we'll wait and see what that one looks like. And if it's better than mine, then we'll use it. But now I have to find my other. I have no idea where that
I
is.
think if you hit cancel right there, it will undo the changes you've made.
Oh, will it? Yeah, it did. Thank you. Because I have no idea where it is. Queuing. Still working. All right. All right.
So you like my official background there, Dave?
Oh, that is nice.
It is official. It is actually, if you go to Zoom, they actually, MLB actually has all the teams.
Wait, what do you mean? What do I do?
If you do a search for a Major League Baseball Zoom backgrounds, you should have a link that'll actually take you to a
Oh.
webpage that will allow you to download your favorite Major League Baseball team. And it's already a Zoom made background. That's why you got the Zoom.
By Zoom?
Made by Zoom. Yeah.
Zoom
So,
I
virtual.
guess there's some sort of partnership, I guess, that they're doing.
So,
Yeah.
Mike, in the future, are you brave enough to put a Toronto Maple Leafs one behind you?
If, you know, if there's a partnership involved with Zoom, you never know.
Zoom has a partnership with MLB. They provide comms.
Ah,
MLB
And-
does their comms through Zoom?
The official review is also done by Zoom. Back to a headquarters in New York where they review plays and overrule what umpires had said on the site.
We're almost there, David.
Motion.
One more
Oh,
button.
I have to keep
One more.
going?
You have to load more. One more. There it is.
Notice that they're at the bottom.
Alphabetically.
It's alphabetic, yeah.
How coincidental.
Yeah. Where are the Patriots? Oh, wait, that's not baseball, is it?
Wrong league.
Okay, sorry.
speaking of alphabetically, has anyone noticed that there was, when you're in gallery view, you can now select, one of the things you can do is select the sort order.
Yeah.
That's not new, is it?
No.
No, I just discovered it the other day by mistake because I was hovering in the wrong place, and there it goes. I haven't
Yeah.
figured out why you do that.
Oh, I can tell you why. I use that a lot. That's been there at least since version 6. Maybe even the latter ones of 5 point blah blah blah. As a host, I will purposely, well, I'll run 2 scenarios. So scenario 1, I will sort by first name. Where that's useful is when I have someone from the peanut gallery that makes a comment or whatever, and I want to bring them up, spotlight them up on screen, you know, I can find them quicker because I know where they are in the alphabet. Oh, Dave wants to say something. Okay, scroll, boom, there he is. Fine. Or if I'm running a meeting as opposed to a webinar, scenario 2, and my panelists join first, I will sort by join time, or it's called entry time.
Yep.
So then that way, my panelist, unofficial role, because there are no panelists in meeting, will be at the top of the participant list in the gallery.
But it doesn't seem to affect if somebody raises their hand or stuff like that. That still causes them to float. The hand raising flows to the top.
Hand raise will always go to position 1 in the grid. And then your order resumes from 2 through whatever.
We just got our clip. I have to, I'm not meaning to complain, but I've not been impressed with, not impressed with most of this AI clip stuff, but not with human faces.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen. Thank you all for joining us today in our virtual culinary laboratory. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we experiment with flavors, techniques, and recipes in real time, bringing the excitement of food innovation directly to your screens. Whether you're a seasoned chef or a curious foodie,
I don't know. I just, it's not good to me.
Yeah, I mean, give it a year.
Yeah.
No, again, I'm not, I'm not
Yeah.
throwing shade. It just doesn't.
David, are you speaking generally, or are you speaking of the Zoom avatars?
I think the one that I made in Lemon Slice is better. Now, again, with Lemon Slice, my experience was that human avatars are not as good as character avatars. Character avatars are better. This might be my brain, saying to me sort of uncanny valley stuff. So it may be that my brain is not letting me appreciate how good this is. But I find the characters to be better. I was just working on an app with I can show it to you. A kids news app. And I wanted to, it's for young kids, and I wanted to make sure that it would read to the kids. So I built in, at first I was going to use 11 Labs, but then I ended up not needing to. Let me just choose let's look at this one right here. And using OpenAI's reading, it does a pretty good, it sounds pretty natural, I think.
Three-legged lizards show super strength. Imagine a lizard with only 3 legs. Scientists found out that some lizards like this are doing just fine.
I mean, whatever. It's not great. I didn't mean to throw shade at Zoom. I don't know.
No, I mean, you know that I do a lot of work with Synthesia and HeyGen, so
Right.
I have a comparison, and this is very low quality.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. So I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy.
Okay.
The thing about using 11 Labs or one of the other text to avatar to video is that you can teach it your voice.
Right.
And then all of this, it becomes so much more natural than the voice you just simulated just now, which is, it doesn't even sound like a real person. We use 11 Labs to do that, and we train voices, and they're really good, like really good.
I was going to say, Robert, I was doing the video editing this week on something, and I used 11 Labs to dub in some messed up phrases because I knew I couldn't go back and get the kids back again to record them. Right. So I just trained it on their voice because I had their voice recorded, and then typed in what I wanted, and out came what I needed to embed in the video.
Middle name is Geppetto.
I've never played with HeyGen. It's that good?
HeyGen is good. The interface is not as good as the Synthesia interface. Synthesia is a lot smoother. Apart from that, Synthesia is made to work in groups. So I can work on something, pass it on to you. You can make your changes, pass it on to another person, and then send it back to me. HeyGen's functionality in that respect is not very well developed.
Synesthesia. I'm just looking it up. Oh, here it is.
The other good thing about Synthesia is that they have a very good working community, and they have these like in office hours and on different topics where you can share and speak with them directly, and you can learn a lot from that, because that experience, this is a very young product, so there aren't people who have a lot of experience with it.
I could tell you somebody who has experience with it because I recognize that first picture.
I was just going to say, I was just saying the same thing. That first avatar is the person that one of the people we've seen in office hours for a couple of years now.
Yeah, in
the girl,
the Zoom Zoom ISO repeating video that you could dial in, sign into to test your Zoom ISO configuration.
Yep. And look, you can Zoom is on here also. I wonder, if Synesthesia is helping to power Zoom's video generation.
No, I think what they're doing is making instruction videos.
Oh.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Your free 30-minute Synthesia demo. Book it now to see how you can replace boring text with engaging videos, saving 90% of your time and cost.
I mean, that's better than the Zoom one. There's no doubt.
Yeah, the voice generation is really good in Synthesia. It is really good. The tricky thing here with Synthesia that you need to be careful with is that you can test and test and test till you've got to the right point. But once you press the generate button, that's when it starts taking off your monthly, what's it called? They have a point system there. But you can test as much as you want. And the beauty about Synthesia, and we've discovered this, is that when you're doing captions and you have words that need to be pronounced differently than they're written, you can have a pronunciation layer that isn't shown in the caption. So the captions come out clean and the pronunciation is according to what you want them to be. It's really working well. They're doing a lot of good work on Synthesia.
What kind of content are you creating with it?
I'm for two of our customers, of our clients, I'm doing instructional videos, multilingual instructional videos. However, what we have discovered, and this is pretty interesting, because this is such a new area and we're just understanding what avatars actually do to people who are watching them or listening to them, is that if you get a Caucasian, for example, speaking in his native language, fine. If he speaks in, for example, one of the Asian languages, the trust and the validity of that person just goes down. People don't believe that that person can speak the language by default with the exact precision that the AI voice simulator is generating it. And so they don't believe it's true. If you don't believe the video is true, you're not going to believe the stuff that's being presented to you.
A little dissonance in there.
Yep. And so that's something that's come out. And so we've actually stepped back from that. The other thing, of course, when you generate instructional videos, if you need to change a little part of the instruction, you've still got the avatar to go and do that. And so you don't have to book a studio, you don't have to get the lighting right, you don't have to get the guy's haircut exactly the same way, clothes the same, just to fill in a little gap. There are a lot of reasons to do that.
I know I'm going back in history, but I just figured out the whole clips and chat thing. It's actually in the release notes. And when you bring up the share and you click on advanced, you click on play a clip in meeting, way down here in the bottom corner, it says share clip link in chat.
Oh,
and you can uncheck that.
Well done, David. I'm sure Frank would be very proud of you.
So there is so now if I do this and I share
Hello
this,
and welcome to the Zoom Test
yeah, it's
Kitchen.
not showing up in chat.
nothing came up in chat. So, come back. We figured it out. It's just, it's a little hidden there, I think. So, in fairness to Zoom, that is right in, it's right here in the release notes under clips features. We just didn't see it. It's the second one.
Can you actually switch that to a default value?
No. Actually, well, wait. Let's see. So I now let me go back in, and I'm going to share again. I'm going to double click on that. Yes, it's sticky. So
Okay.
at least in this meeting, that is sticky. So meaning that is to say, so I turned it off in the last one. It is now still off. So the question will be, is it sticky in between meetings? Right? Will that stay there once this meeting is? In fact, I'm not host anymore. So I'm going to leave and I'm going to come right back and I'll tell you if it's sticky.
The other thing that's interesting is that I think they've done a good job because this is a user option and not a meeting-wide option.
All right. I think David has returned. Back to you, Dave.
Just wait a second. I'm going as fast as I can. All right. So now I'm going to go into share, advanced, clips. It is still off. So yes, once you make a decision for that, it will stay that way. So that's good to know.
That is very good to know.
Great.
So you're reading release notes, David, without letting us share?
No, I don't know. I was just seeing what was up next, what we should talk about next, but and I came across that. This is all
Good
phone
find,
stuff.
well done.
Video management. They did put in my maybe I had moved it there, but when I went to open my Zoom app today, the hub, that new hub was right up at the top there. I'm not sure if that was always that or right. If I put it like that, I'm not sure. I don't know. What else? There is, by the way, a new update coming out on Monday, unless it gets pushed again. Actually, Sunday. Interesting. Usually they're Monday, but this one, the October 26th, is 6.6.6.
Yeah, and I just and I as I put in chat, I just can confirm that I just got released 6.6.5.
Oh, great.
Even though it was supposed to be a couple days ago. But I did not get anything for Windows, even though Windows is saying that 6.6.5 should be out now too, and I haven't got that either.
By the way, I saw this when I started the meeting and I screenshotted it, but now that I've come back in, I have it again. Can I still do this? No, I can't. Oh yeah, I can. Oh no, I can't. Wait a second. Let me just change this. Rename. There we go. So when I open chat, I get this little guy at the top here. Chat with AI Companion. AI Companion can answer your questions about this meeting and more. Try it now. I was actually hoping when I saw this the first time that when I click this, that I would be able to chat with Companion right here in chat, but it doesn't. It just opens the Companion window. I thought because it came up in chat, I thought maybe they'd integrated that chat. Like, you could kind of backslash, AI or something, or backslash Companion, and you would be able to chat with Companion right in chat, but you can't.
Does that window talk to the window that's in the workplace app?
What window?
I'm sorry. The AI companion window that your cursor is on right now,
Uh-huh.
is that the same window or linked to the window that is in the desktop workplace app?
No, because this is specifically for this meeting. Whereas the one in the workplace app has no knowledge of this meeting. Right. So here are
And
the
David,
two.
what I noticed on my end was that mine did actually, on the Windows side, it did actually go within the workplace app, but I haven't popped out any of those. I don't know if you've done that by default to pop that out.
What do you mean?
Like the AI companion, how it right now I can do it like you have, but I have to tell it that I want it to pop out. I have a pop out icon in
Oh
Windows.
yeah. Well, I pop out all of my chat and participants and everything because I use Zoom full screen. But I think what Jason was asking about is, so this is AI companion in the meeting, and my options are catch me up, was my name mentioned, and I could do other things. This is AI companion in the app, and like if I write in this one, catch me up, I don't think it's gonna have any idea what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, you have to give it some context, right? But it sees the meetings on the left.
Oh, actually, you know what? Wait a second. No, actually, look at that. I'm wrong.
It sees the meetings on the left, and it sees your presence in there because there's a presence indicator. So yeah, it makes a connection. Now you're not seeing the AI companion window on the left populate,
Right.
but they're both linked back to the mothership. I bet you it's dependent upon the user settings or the account settings for how data is shared with AI companion and retention.
I didn't realize that AI companion in the app was context aware of the meeting that I'm in.
Yeah. And the thing is, David, is now you can introduce other context. So you can have it look at your Microsoft Outlook calendar
Yeah.
and give you context. So you could say that meeting that I was in with David last week, catch me up on what we talked about.
That's great.
And it would go look at the calendar, look at all your meetings, find the one with David, retrieve the subject, retrieve where that meeting was held, and then retrieve any content that was associated with that meeting, and then develop context. Now, there's a lot of switches and permissions in the way, but hypothetically, that's the way that would work. And if you have these data companies assuming share first, leak data, close the door as opposed to having the door closed by default, then presumably it works out of the box.
Right.
David, can you just try one thing, please? I haven't used this new option of having AI companion pop up like that, and in the meeting. But if you were to ask it to summarize the chat before you joined the meeting, because that's also always an issue because you don't see the chat history. You always see the chat from the moment you've joined it. Can AI companion actually summarize what you missed?
That's a good question because you're the host of the meeting. And if you have AI companion automatically turned on with the meeting, then regardless of the fact that you left the meeting and came back, hypothetically speaking, wouldn't the content still be available to AI?
David, you're muted if you're talking.
I knew that. Sorry.
I thought you were
typed in,
thinking, David.
summarize the chat before I joined the meeting. So then it says, based on the meeting transcript, here's what happened in the chat before you rejoined.
Oh, interesting.
And it saw that you rejoined because you had asked it before I joined.
Right.
So did that mean the first time, or did that mean the second time, or did that mean the third time? And it picked up rejoined as what you meant.
The group talked about the Disney pyrotechnics. What did I miss?
Yeah, that is the correct answer.
That is officially, yeah. That was pre-show.
Pre-show, but you were there.
Yeah,
I
but
just
this
wasn't
isn't
paying
what we're
attention,
looking
sorry.
for. We're looking for what was in the
The
chat.
chat, right. Then it says the chat was quite active with both technical Zoom discussions and personal conversations among the regular participants before you returned to.
Yeah, the chat
Instead
didn't
of
become
saying
active until after the show went live.
Yeah, this is not looking in chat. It's saying it's looking in chat, but it sees. Here's what it's doing. It's thinking chit chat, not meeting chat.
Okay, can we say in the meeting chat?
Yeah.
In the meeting chat, without using the word summarize, maybe that's what's wrong.
Maybe even give it a timestamp.
Yeah. What did Jason say, or what? Because we know Jason said BRB.
Remember, guys, that AI companion actually uses the transcribed information
Right.
more than not only the chat.
The transcription.
Yeah, that's right. Did comment. Awesome. That can share that.
Yeah. No, this is.
And she said that, Robert, right? She did not actually type that.
No, she typed it in the chat.
No, she typed that.
She typed that in the chat.
Jason made an encrypted comment that appeared as, so it is reading the chat. Yeah, so it did do that.
And it stripped it out of the transcript, huh? Yeah, because it's encrypted, so it turned a blind eye to it.
It's also missing, not missing, sorry. It's mixing what it heard in the transcript and what was actually in the chat. The transcript shows that the meeting chat was relatively quiet compared to the spoken discussions about Disney pyrotechnics, video equipment, and Zoom features that were happening simultaneously.
That's a true statement.
That's a true statement. There was only one comment in chat during that whole conversation, and it wasn't related to that.
That's fascinating. But it did see the chat. It is looking at chat also.
And can you do one more thing, David?
Yeah.
Ask it to summarize what Mike Latta said wrote in the chat. Because Mike had some comments from YouTube.
I did. And Tony is still waiting patiently for a question to be answered.
Yeah,
so we'll get back to you, Tony. We're still there.
Mike, I'm gonna pass this off to you in 2 minutes as soon as we're done with this. I have to jump off a little early today. I apologize, everyone. Based on the meeting transcript, Mike Latta made several comments in the chat, YouTube-related comments. And here are all of the YouTube-related comments. Yeah, and it's pulling, it's actually quoting them.
So what happens to this data after the meeting closes?
So I know that last week I got an email with this information.
And also everybody that came to the meeting as a panelist, if you check your team chat, you should have got one as well. Because I did. I don't know if that was because I was co-host or host, but I did.
Right. I have it set up to share with, that may be a co-host thing.
I think it's a co-host thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a co-host thing.
But that's probably a setting you could adjust as well. Because there are permissions. For example, can the co-host look at the cloud recording and share it? So presumably the same kind of stuff for your meeting transcripts, your meeting notes, your Zoom clips.
Let me look back. I'm going to try and find that email from last week.
As you're looking, David, Frank is proud of you, by the way, he says. Very proud indeed, he says.
Thank you, Frank.
You know, the thing that always rattles around in my mind with this stuff, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago with the professor Idelson, you know, there's cool things with AI were, okay, catch me up on the meeting, or, those kind of things. But then the two risks that are involved is that the AI shows up to take the place of the human.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
what happens if the AI makes a mistake, or it doesn't summarize it correctly, or it leads the human down the wrong path that's reading the notes later, who didn't attend the meeting. And then, like in your learning design, when I'm training somebody, there are things that I will publish for them to read on their own. There are hands-on activities that I will have them do, and there is a live meeting time, each modality having a specific intent in mind. And so if you have AI just throwing the data all over the place and sharing it, that really isn't useful from a learning perspective. Now I have to go and do double and triple work for my checks for understanding to see if my students, okay, did they actually get it or not?
Right. Right.
So I heard Professor Littleson's name in vain. This is John Avatar, who's been
Wait a minute. Did
meeting.
we have to figure out if it was 3 times that we have to say his name, or was that only twice?
It was
Jason, how many times?
It was the professor part that got me. I would turn my camera, but I would scare you. I'm ready for my Halloween costume.
Oh. We understand, John. We understand. So any thoughts of what Jason was talking about, or no?
Jason has identified what is a challenge, and it's interesting. The California State University system, which now has a site license for everyone to use ChatGPT 5.0. Every student has a Zoom account, and you start layering that with the fact that we're a Google campus. So we have Google and what's their AI today? Gemini. So the question is, with your avatar who's attended a lecture that's being given by an avatar, interpret it differently if you use the Zoom AI to read it, or use chat to read it, or you use Gemini to read it. So it sort of, my mind is exploding. That's what I'm going to be. I've gotten to the point now where I'm less worried about artificial intelligence, but more worried about natural ignorance.
Yes, well said.
Well said. But I'm curious if we could have a panelist discussion between Gemini, ChatGPT, and pick your other favorite AI, talking to each other.
Oh, you absolutely can, because I've seen it done.
Oh, I mean, years ago I saw Alexa and Siri having a ongoing conversation.
And John, not just between chat and Gemini, but within each of those tools, you can dial in a persona. So chat, you can pick a persona. Copilot, you can pick a persona. If you're a Microsoft person, you can go into the Azure cloud and develop your own persona.
Yeah, I think what's interesting for me is that, think back to Midjourney, what the first images looked like, multiple fingers on hands and things all messed up, and how quickly the graphics has changed to now that we really have Hollywood talent that they can put into a movie. We're in that sort of mush now that we know it's not perfect, and there's lots of things that are bad, but it's getting better and better. On another project I'm working with Oliver, and we're doing some stuff with NDI, and it was amazing some of the stuff it presented to us, and then it started hallucinating, and what the hallucination was actually feature requests that were showing up in different places. So I wish I were taller, and I wish NDI did this, but then it was stating it as fact, assuming that would happen. So we're in for an interesting ride. I think for the academy, the first set of university professors, when they were looking at AI, wrote some policies. A number of campuses, this issue, wrote some policies focusing on AI as it relates to plagiarism and student identity that their work, that they didn't plagiarize this as their own words. And then they came up with policies on how you would footnote and annotate when you used AI and when you didn't. And it was a little bit of arranging the chairs into the Titanic. This committee that came up with this policy, within 4 months, they said it's the worst policy you ever could have done, because we were addressing a problem that wasn't the real issue. And Jason, I think you're talking about the real issue is this is going to change how we teach. This is a little bit like saying a car is a horseless carriage. It's Marshall McLuhan, and now I'm going to give my professor the rear view mirror view. The rear view mirror was that a car is a horseless carriage because that's what it replaced. But the car actually changed architecture in houses. Porches were no longer there. The people could move further. All these different things. And we're in the same thing here. We're looking at AI, and you're going, well, what if an AI professor is giving a lecture to a student, agent? That's the rear view mirror. That's not how instruction is going to be happening in academies. And it's because AI is going to provide different options that we would say, why would you compare to a horse, to a car? Yet notice we don't give up on things because we still talk about the speed and horsepower.
Yeah, that's true. There definitely will be a paradigm shift. I mean, as an instructor, you have to be focused on, how do I know if my students are learning this material well, right? There has to be a qualifier. And so whether that's in a book or through a Zoom meeting or a podcast or whatever, that question is what you're striving for. I want my students to learn this well. Now, whether they do or not, obviously involves them, that they have to be motivated to do it. And they might try to cheat or plagiarize or send an AI agent in to attend the meeting. And then in a corporate environment, like all the compliance training, if the goal is simply put a check mark on the attendance roster that you were here and we'll see you again next year, well, then as an employee, I'm highly, highly motivated to send my AI agent into the compliance training, sit there for an hour, and then tick the little box at the end that says I comply. It doesn't mean that I actually understood the material or that I actually really care about the material and that I won't do something unethical or illegal. But the compliance roster shows I'm 100%. That employee is good for the next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We used to have certification, you got a diploma, and the diploma was a collection of grades and courses, and the courses represented a series of evaluations that were done by the faculty members who were teaching it. So they really all were abstractions from, can this person jump over this fence? He wrote a story about jumping over the fence. He sang a song about jumping over the fence. We had a long discussion in our class about jumping over the fence. And somebody could say, and I saw him do it once back in May, but we don't have documented evidence of that student jumping the fence. And, so how do we first document what the students learn, and how do we register that documentation as authentic? And those are some of the challenges. So micro credentials started getting at that. So there was this time when people weren't going to a full 4-year school and getting a degree in computer science. They were taking a boot camp, and the documentation was they got hired and they were either programming or they weren't. And that was a micro credential. It's a fascinating time because schools, universities, faculty members have, it's always been a challenge, is how do you document student learning and how do you report it? And sometimes how do you let students know that they actually did that learning for their own confidence? They do that with Air Force pilots. They not only, they're training, they want to be confident, but they want them to know that they can do it. And so it's not only how do you represent that to the rest of the world, but how do you authenticate to an individual that, they're not the imposter syndrome, but they actually have the skills. I want a doctor who's going to be giving surgery on me to not go, I'm not sure whether I'm any good at this. I want them to, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm going for it. But I don't want to be heady, sort of go, well, I could do this surgery after having a party last night, and I really don't have to think about it. Is there jazz music playing in the background, or do I have a loose record here somewhere?
That
No.
actually is coming from your audio, John.
It felt really mellow. I liked it. I was gonna say, what a great thing. I got to figure out which of my machines is playing music.
I thought the professor was sitting in his smoking jacket, sipping on a cocktail, listening to jazz music.
Yeah,
John,
because it was just faint enough that it was just coming through. Go
You're
ahead,
not far from wrong.
Well done, sir. As it should be.
Actually, John, it sounded as if you have the speakers playing music in the room, and every time you spoke, your mic opened, and your mic caught the music from the background.
To toe to town. I've been playing with all sorts of different software, and I can't figure out where it's playing on my machine.
Control Alt Delete.
Let me go. I don't know about you guys, was feeling really mellow to me here.
Yeah, no, it's nice. The Zoom background noise reduction cuts out a lot of it, but we get little fragments here and there.
Yeah, as you were speaking, John. So it was, as you were speaking, it was, doo-doo-doo, all of a sudden in the background,
Well, we were sort of doing a riff on things, so it seemed appropriate.
The mental image was fantastic. I really envisioned a smoking jacket and a rocks glass. That's what I had going on in my mind.
Maybe
I don't know
the
if you're a
cigar?
smoker, but maybe there was a stogie in the other finger. I don't know.
Let me see if I can get my instant camera so I'm a little more centered. There we go.
Oh, we're instinct. Look out. There we go. There he is.
I wish I could tell you where the music was coming from, and I apologize for the jazz quartet that has been following this discussion. Got to be open somewhere,
in
right?
theory, it did not make it very clear. So in theory, we should not have any copyright issues in any particular manner. That's definitely.
Well, you can't copyright a jazz riff. Come on. Where is it coming from?
Hasmuth, go right ahead. Get us out of this madness.
It gets out of the jazz quartet. I'm going to keep looking, guys.
All right.
Excellent. Cool.
I'm
Go ahead,
gonna-
Hasmuth.
Don't have it.
So I wanted a question on cloud recording and host. What we did yesterday is somebody at medical school started the meeting as a host, made us the co-host, my machine. And then because it was echoing in the auditorium, they then made our machine host and exited the meeting. So we were basically hosting the meeting. And then we started recording the meeting. But the recording did not appear on our Zoom account. So the question is, does it depend on who started the meeting as host and the cloud recording would be in their account, irrespective of who becomes host in the course of the meeting?
No, the cloud recording is in the account owner's account. He's the person paying for the cloud storage. He's the person who gets all of the recording.
More specifically, the person who created the meeting.
Right. Okay.
So because you could have an alternate
right.
host, you could have a co-host, you could pass the host. Okay, but who was the one that created the meeting in the Zoom account? That's where the recording and the transcript and everything else lives.
In fact,
I think
you
that's
need
the
to be
key.
a little bit
That's
more
the key.
specific. I think you need to say it's the account in which the meeting was registered and scheduled, because I can schedule a meeting on your behalf. So that meeting wouldn't come to me; it would come to your account. So
Right. Yeah. Frank's got the perfect words in chat. He says, the person who schedules the meeting owns the recording.
Okay.
Right. Right.
I don't think so. I don't agree with that, because I could schedule a meeting on your behalf, and then it becomes your meeting. It's on your license.
Right.
It goes into your.
So if I go into my account and I add Robert into my account and I tick the little box that gives him permission to manage meetings on my behalf, including the creation thereof. He can create a meeting and he can be an alt host, a co-host. He could pass the host around, but all the meeting recordings, transcripts, yada, 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 will tie to my account login. So I would have to share it and distribute it from there.
Yeah, and Frank did reply back in YouTube saying Robert is more correct. So there you go, Robert. So you got kudos from Frank on that one. So
what we're saying is in whose name the meeting has been scheduled, meaning that you could be scheduling as the owner of the account, or you've assigned that meeting host to another person, then that become, no? Have I got that wrong?
No,
almost.
Think of it this way, Hasmak. It's the license in which the meeting is scheduled, independent of who schedules it. If I have rights to schedule, it goes to that license that I have the rights to schedule for.
Okay, so now it
that's
gets
even
a
better
little
words,
finer and more
Robert.
clear.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing that, and I'm sure you know this, but I'll just say it out loud because it came to my mind. If you had been recording as co-host, if you had been recording locally, not as co-host, but just recording locally, and they passed on co-host to you or host, you would lose your local recording because your recording rights would suddenly become cloud recordings.
Say that again.
If you were doing a local recording on your computer and the host suddenly passed on host to you, you no longer have that local recording. You have a cloud recording because you're the host going to the license owners. It's a really important thing to remember. Hey, Frank, gosh, I haven't seen you for years. Good to see you.
Greetings.
Yeah, but that contradicts what you just said. So if you start the meeting in a particular licensed owner, and then you pass on the host to another different license owner, will the cloud recording still be in the original license holder?
It will still be there, but I'm making a different point. If I have local record rights and I'm doing a local record and the host passed me the host, I lose my local recording. I now become the host, and so I'm doing a cloud recording. I can't cloud record and local record at the same time.
Okay, but if you switch on after the person has passed the host to you and you do cloud recording, that recording will still be in the original license holder.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, got you.
And I think the point you're making, Robert, is you can't control both local and cloud recording from the same Zoom instance at the same time, right?
It's the same user.
As the same user. So if the host transfers it to you, you're now in control of the cloud recording, irregardless of where it's being stored.
Correct. Frank, say some words. It's good to see you back. It's been a long time.
Words, many words. Are there any good words? That's the important thing.
So the good word, Frank,
Go
is
Blue
if I
Jays.
have another
Is that-
academic here. I did find where the music was coming from, and I put it in the chat.
I was enjoying your music, by the way. Thank you. It was very mellow.
It's a cozy autumn evening by the Riverside Cafe. Smooth jazz and vintage red car ambience.
Oh, interesting.
Hopefully they send you some swag or something.
I'm going to experiment with that music soundtrack in about an hour from now myself.
It really was making the Zoom test kitchen really like you feel, like you said, the smoke. And anyway, we won't go there.
All the best parties are in the kitchen.
I agree.
Right. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
vaguely Peanuts-like.
Can we?
Oh, yeah, it had a
can we
little
get?
ding-ding-ding-ding-ding.
Can we
It
get
had a little
David
bit of
to
that.
approve some meeting props? We're not going to wear a chef's hat. We'll just have rocks glasses and.
Well, I can always fire up the music app if you want me to. But no, let's
Zoom
not go down.
Music app.
It's good stuff there. Don't
It's
get me
got
wrong. The library's good.
although I find the volume is lower than I would like it. Is there a
Right.
setting that I'm not seeing or something?
Good. Jason, good question. And as far as I've dug into, no, you're correct. It feels like that the even though you've turned it up all the way, I think the impression of the workplace app developer, and I'll pretend I'm John Drinkwater's talking now. So it feels like the developer of the music app, aka Zoom, or somebody within Zoom, is basically limited that the volume level will be only 60%, 40%. No matter if the person goes all the way to full, it'll never be 100% volume. It'll only be up to 40%,
Yeah.
let's say, as a number, as an example.
The Zoom Music app is licensed from another company.
Yeah, the actual content itself is licensed from another company. I don't know what Zoom's involvement was to actually make the workplace app itself, but I do know that as you might have, I've said, I think a couple times on the Zoom Test Kitchen that one of my friends is actually one of the artists that are actually got his actual content on the music app. So he's got a couple of his songs on there.
Have you tried, Mike, to because on Windows, the Zoom Workplace app, and then when you're in meeting, any apps that you're using within Zoom, whether it's SPX or Mentimeter or any of those other Zoom apps that you might fire up in a meeting, they appear as apps in your task viewer. But what I haven't checked is whether it's in web view or whether something, if it shows up in the volume panel within Windows. You know, you can open the volume mixer in Windows and it'll show you each app that's currently running and a volume mixer knob with it. And I haven't looked there to see if the Zoom background music app is adjustable there.
Good question.
Kitchen. Try it. Come on, Mike.
Yeah,
do
I
it.
know. Yeah. All right. So I will choose, and since we're doing some fairly mellow stuff, I will go back to being fairly mellow. All right. So let me go out of here, and I will. Yeah, just give me 2 seconds here. I just have to click on the right links, and we'll do some jazz, and we will go into. All right. I will choose "The Boss" by Luca. So now everybody should be hearing the music, and I should be at a half decent level. So right now I am set at I'm only at about a quarter of a setting. So if it's really, really quiet, that is probably why you're hearing that. So I'm going to now turn it up to be full. So that is officially full.
Within the app in Zoom.
Within the music app itself. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to go into what Jason's talking about is actually into the Windows mixer, audio mixer. And again, good old Windows 11 here is going to be a little different, but I'll be there momentarily because they made things a lot more difficult in Windows 10 or Windows 11 than Windows 10.
You can right click on the speaker icon and get a shortcut to the mixer.
Right. Yeah. I was clicking on the microphone. There we go. Got it. Thanks, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in here.
And if you screen share.
Yeah. So officially, yeah, let me screen share so that Jason and everybody gets to see what I'm looking at. Everybody now.
Doesn't Windows show more than one Zoom process for sound at the same time?
Oh,
Did
did everybody lose audio when I did the share?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't like the fact of me doing two shares.
Yeah.
Is a share.
Do you have share sound turned on within your sharing of Zoom settings?
Before you get rid of that, though,
Yeah.
aren't there more than one Zoom audio
Yes.
volume controller? There's usually two at least, right?
Expand the web view too, because that's where a lot of the Zoom stuff tends to hide.
Yeah.
And
So Jason, the official answer was I did try it before I did share, and what I'm temporarily muted, and it actually was a Microsoft Edge web view too. Take care, Pete. I think you were waving. All right. Yeah. So it was this one before I started the share, because I was able to mute that independently as we can in Windows, and it actually muted the music app only, and not obviously not me, because you guys heard me still. But if I start muting down here, then of course I will start. Well, actually, this is, as you can
one
see,
of
I'm
those,
using
yeah, you're using your A10, but one of those meetings is the workplace app, and the other one is your in meeting experience.
Right.
And
yeah. So again, my input. So this is where I could actually go in and independently choose my input outputs, right? Depending on my system right now. So if I wanted to reroute things differently, then of course I will really break myself and I won't hear you guys anymore.
So technically it looks like using the web view 2 is where the Zoom music background can be adjusted.
Yeah. So when it was initiated, Jason, this probably kicked up as its own, because again, just knowing from as much as I do when I talk to John and we're in the Zoom developer world, that it makes perfect sense that it is the actual workplace apps themselves are actually web pages within the app. Is the easiest way to explain without getting really technical.
Oh no, absolutely. Because when you open up Task Viewer, under Web View 2, you'll see 11 to 17 processes going on, and most of them is Zoom.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, because again, in the background, it's using good old Microsoft Edge by default. Yeah. For most of that. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. And if I stop sharing, will I get music back? Nope, it actually stopped the music app. It stopped the music app music. So I'm hitting it again. And is it playing? Or is it upset now? Oh, it muted itself too.
Well, when you hit the mute switch in WebView 2, I wonder if that talked back and hit the now we hear the music again.
Right. Yeah. And muted in the web view. I know you guys can't see it because I can't do both. And then unmuted again. There you go.
Yeah.
And that was me just clicking the Microsoft Edge web view.
Which, I mean, that's background music. So it's doing what it is designed to do.
Right. But it's not to be dominant over top of the vocal.
You can't use it as a show intro, for example.
No, I would rather do what I do at the end of the show, which is going into advanced and then choosing either an audio file, or in our case, I'm purposely using a video file so that we have a video component when the audio is playing. That's why I got the Sunu karaoke version at the end of the show.
Yep. It doesn't have enough energy to, be like your splash opener or something like that. But if you're doing, cocktail hour with the professors, then it's great for that.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, you could easily, if you wanted to, again, it's always going to be at that level as well, that it's not going to your voice is still going to be over top of it. So very, very much like Mr. Idelson was doing when he was, even though not on purpose.
And I hear the ducking kicking in and out too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do, if you do use the music app, I do utilize the fade in, fade out. That is really well done that they did there, that feature in the music app. So that, when you hit pause, it's not a hard cut. It actually softly fades out the music so that, if all of a sudden your meeting is starting, I just hit the stop button, but it's as if I took the volume control and just dragged it all the way to nothing.
Frank, I like what you shared there. Now, are those icons like, are they little volume things that you can adjust? It's kind of light on light background for me.
Sorry, no, it's sort of the comparable thing to Task Manager on a Mac is called Activity Monitor. It shows you all the processes, how much CPU, how much RAM, how many core threads. Those are the ones that start with Zoom. There might be other ones that aren't identified as Zoom, but those were the ones that I could find as I sorted them alphabetically that are simultaneously taking place for one Zoom meeting.
Okay. And the little boxes that are to the left of where it says Zoom US graphics and media, is that a percentage of resources used, or what's supposed to be in that little box?
If you want, I can screen share real quick just so you get a better sense of it. I just took a little slice of it.
Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
So this is Activity Monitor. Along the top here, you've got percent of CPU, CPU time, threads, a whole bunch of other statistics. You know, and this is for my whole operating system, everything that's happening concurrently right now. I just sorted it alphabetically and just went and tried to find ones that started with the word Zoom.
Okay.
So, and then there's little graphs and things, and there's other stuff you can sort by memory, energy, hard disk space, network resources, whatever you want. Anyways, I was just, you guys were making me curious because you were talking about on Windows.
So yeah, how sort alphabet? How many resources is Zoom using on a Mac?
What do you mean by a resource? CPU, memory?
I'm sorry, percent CPU and percent memory. I don't know if you've got memory in the column, but you can probably add it.
It fluctuates, but right now percent CPU is 66.6. But I just jumped 83. But it depends too. If I opened more applications that weren't Zoom, then it wouldn't probably use as much. But since the resources are available, Mac's operating system's managing it and saying, okay, well, I've got the resources available. Let's give more to Zoom.
Okay. And presumably it goes up when you share versus not, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm sure if I turn off the sharing, it'll drop. But I was just curious because you guys were doing with Task Manager, and I just wanted to have a quick peek what it looked like on a Mac.
Yeah. It's interesting because in your setup, it's taking more resources than in my current setup. And one of the things that I'm always looking to do is to keep things running as lean and mean as possible, because it's not unusual on a hosting machine for me to have Zoom, PowerPoint, something else that has to be shared, a video queued up, ready to be shared. I mean, there might be 4 or 5 applications that are open depending upon the run of show, that it's like, okay, now we're going to do this, we're going to do that, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, the little cooling fan kicks on my laptop and starts screaming in the middle of the show. And I'm like, okay, we gotta tone this down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, like right now I'm looking at it, and my task manager Zoom's running 8%, but it's going heavier on the memory side than it is on the CPU.
I'm not a Mac activity monitor expert. I'm not sure if that's just for one core. Like this is a MacBook M4 Pro, so that might be what it's using on one core, maybe not on all the cores, on all, you know. So I'm not sure. I'm sure there's people listening to the show who could answer the question better than me, but I suspect that it's not using 66% of my M4 processor.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Jason, what I was also going to say too was related to right now my task manager. I don't know if it's a difference in the regards of me being host or not. What have I got here right now? Yeah, I'm running almost a gig of RAM itself just for Zoom meetings. Zoom meetings task.
That's about what I'm at.
Yeah. And it's fluctuating anywhere between, depending on if I'm sending video, if mine talking, it's spiking up a little bit. I'm seeing between 10 to 12%. And then if your video pops up or somebody else's video pops up, then it goes down to about 8 or 9, because it seems like Zoom is now pulling from me more because I'm talking, right? So it's starting to use more of the CPU for my end. That's when I had
That's
thought of
interesting.
that. And I did want to get back to Tony's question, which was related to our gear. Jason, you gave me the information and I let everybody know on YouTube about that. So Jason, you're just running vanilla stuff, correct?
Yeah, and just to be clear, my ultimate goal every time that I come to the test kitchen, okay, what I'm trying to get to, what I'm designing to, is I want to be able to do a full whiz bang show with just a laptop. Now I know there's going to be trade-offs. I know there's going to be a lot of software involved and software horsepower and things like that. But that's my ultimate goal, is to throw a laptop in a backpack and go anywhere and put on a show. So that's what I'm designed to all the time. So yeah, for Tony's question, I try to keep it lean and mean. I mean, I can plug a bunch of hardware into it for my larger shows. I definitely do. But my goal is always, what can I do in plain Zoom alone? So like your meeting wallpapers, using the SPX plugin, using the Zoom music for background. Like those are the things that I'm constantly testing, because again, it allows me just to throw a laptop in my backpack and go. I might bring an external keyboard and mouse and a headset and an external camera. Okay, there you go. There's my whole setup. And a power brick. Okay.
I do the same thing for a slightly different reason. Most of my users aren't as sophisticated as the people in this meeting. I can also do much more advanced things. I have a television switcher next to me. I have an audio interface next to me. I have a mixer. I don't use them most of the time because I'm trying to use Zoom the way my users are going to use it, so that if they have a problem, I'm on an equal footing with them.
Right. Robert, go ahead. Are you using the Ivy this week is the question.
Yes, I am on the Ivy, using it basically as a teleprompter. I have a separate conference microphone, an EKG, sitting next to me on my desk. And I think that's about it in terms of, and it's a small Mac Mini M2 with the basic configuration. And it runs with about 80% idle CPU capacity and uses about 6 gigabytes of the RAM available. So it's just ticking away slowly. And to be very honest, I use Google as my browser, and I have probably about 50 to 60 tabs open.
Yeah, and Jason and I both went, because if we had 50 or 60 tabs open, our machine will go.
That's an M2, Robert?
It's an M2.
And having Chrome as your browser definitely helps. It's pretty lean and mean.
Yeah, I use Chrome as my daily browser, but I use Safari for all of my banking, everything else that I want to keep away from Google.
Yeah, right.
Yep, that's fair. And as far as my setup is, I've got my microphone, obviously, that you guys see in the shot, that all my audio is going into my audio mixer, which is going into my ATEM, and of course my video. I've got 2 or 3 cameras in my studio, which is used mostly for demonstration purposes. But what you guys usually see on the Zoom Test Kitchen is the camera through the my Elgato teleprompter, and the ATEM is doing all majority of the work, as I was mentioning to David before, including bringing in my background around me, around my key. So the ATEM is actually doing all this keying for me, and is keeping the audio and video in sync so that I do not go out of sync. But that is just an old, I guess it's semi-old at this point, ATEM Mini Pro. Couple of years old and still going, knock on wood.
It's ancient.
Yeah, it's ancient.
In technology years, it's ancient.
It is.
Mike, do you have the ATEM? Tell me more about how the audio is routed.
Sure. This is a conversation that I've had before with Robert. So I'm not using a digital audio mixer. I'm just using an old analog audio mixer, and it's much older than it's even older than the A10 Mini Pro. It's an old Behringer audio mixer, and I'm bringing the microphones are going through XLR into that. And then I'm actually coming out of the mixer XLR into an eighth of an inch, eighth of an inch or 3.5 millimeter for us European / Canadians. And I'm bringing that into the ATEM.
Shame. Unbalanced audio. Shame.
Mic 1 and so it's coming in mic 1 and 2 on the ATEM.
It's coming in, yeah. Well, in this case, yes, I'm coming in through mic 1. Yeah.
Mic level or line level?
I'm line level.
Shame.
Okay, and then the
as
A10
Frank,
is
Frank
connected.
picks on me, but again, yes. If I had another choice in the A10 Mini Pro, I would use XLRs, but I can't, or a balanced connector. But
Mike,
again, it's a stereo connector.
I thought you said your cable is about 3 centimeters long, so it's
that is correct. Yes. The actual yes, as long as you
It's
stay
a family
under.
show. Come on now.
Exactly.
For audio interference, shorter is better.
Back? That's all I got to say. Can't you tell? That's right. Yes. So when you're using, yes. So everybody's picking on me because I am unbalanced. Yes, that is true. But again, I've made sure that I am using well-insulated cables. I will never buy an Amazon cable. Sorry, Amazon. I will not buy for you a cable from you ever, because I know better. And I will make sure that the gauge on the actual cabling, because I am running unbalanced versus balanced, is the highest quality that I can get for an unbalanced connector. And I'm staying with under 6 feet as well, away from my audio mixer to the A10. And once you start going beyond that, yes, you're unbalanced, and all of a sudden you become a friend to the power, and all of a sudden you get bzzz.
Oh, because you've essentially plugged in an antenna.
Yeah, it's correct. All of a sudden you become an antenna for free. Yeah. Go ahead, Frank. You're picking on me.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Follow-up question. You said that you're using well-insulated cables. Is that because of Canadian winters?
Well, we do have to make sure that our Blue Jays are happy. Oh, did I slide that into? Or
I don't think it's the Canadian winters. I think it's the Canadian liquor. That's what.
The real problem is the cold soldering joints.
Yeah, the cold soldering joints. There's something to be said about those cold soldering joints. That's true.
Well, I'm sorry, but when you hire an 8-year-old to work in the factory to assemble your circuitry, it happens.
Stick it in the oven at 450 and reflow the solder, and everything will be okay.
And then, Mike, I'm assuming you're coming out of the A10 with a USB-C cable into your computer. Yeah. Okay.
Correct. And I've purposely made sure, because I'm not using a USB. I'm obviously bringing my camera in via HDMI because I'm using the original A10 Mini Pro, which was only HDMI. So I've actually gone into the actual A10 as well and made sure that I've backed up the audio to sync in with the frames.
What camera are you using?
The camera that I'm using is still our prototype camera. Thank you, Frank, for asking. But it is one of our box cameras coming soon to.
The reason I ask is, and I'm sure you know this, but maybe for people out on YouTube, if you've got a camera that takes XLR in, you could put your audio in through your camera and then into the A10 Mini, and then that would keep your audio in sync as well.
Correct. Yeah. So again, yes, correct. Because again, it'll come in the HDMI, then you would just have to enable the actual HDMI audio at that point, which I've disabled on all the ports to make sure there isn't any accidental audio coming from any of the cameras. Even though the current cameras that I have in here don't have any audio plugged into them, I'm still making sure that I've disabled it on the A10. Experts who agency says Frank brings ZTK back to another level. There you go. See, Frank, look at that.
That may not be a compliment, though. That might be something else.
That's true, and we're still trying to keep it a family show.
You might get some hate mail after the show.
Yeah, we'll see if I'm sliding into home later tonight. Okay.
Who let that jerk back on the show?
Hold on. Let me wave the flag. Okay, there we go. Very good. All right. back to you. All right. So no, I'm kidding. All right. So any questions from our friends in YouTube? Of course, let us know in chat. And you've got Frank here, so pick his brain while we got him here. He's sneaking in today. Mr. Idelson has come back. Did you like the musical choices, John? Were they half decent at least when we were doing testing?
You should be hearing a little bit of the jazz now. Thank you. I'm back.
Only when you're talking and it opens up that we hear it.
Okay, that's it.
And then it self gates itself at that point. /
Justice, no justice.
closes the door. The only way David gets around that, of course, and he actually, when we were opening today, David got caught with that too, because only the vocals were coming through with the song, but none of the music was today. So he had to make sure that he turned on the infamous, what is the latest calling of it? Sound for musicians? Is that what original sound for musicians?
High performance audio? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Original sound.
Is it original sound now? Okay.
Has anyone played with the live performance audio setting?
I have not. I'll be honest. But it does intrigue me to see what differences there would be between that and original sound.
I've experimented with it a little bit. I'm happy to share what I've experienced and just to see if that's the same that everyone else has
There's
had.
less latency.
Sure.
Most definitely.
Go for it, Jason.
But there's a cap on how many people can be using it at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't remember the number, but it's a small amount of people can be using it, and then it's no longer available.
So let's see. There we go. I think. Oh no, I have to tell it I want it to show the Zoom window.
Right.
Stand by.
Take two.
And toolbars. Okay. And
Yeah. So if you want, Jason, just go pause and then come back, and then there you go. Yeah, you're good.
There we go. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, it's a live window. Perfect. Okay. So there's our original sound for musicians. You've experimented with that before. Echo cancellation, I've noticed in a headset, if you turn it off, then sometimes, depending upon what headset you're using, it can pick up enough of what's coming out of the earphone to echo it back into the microphone. And also, it does affect how noise handling the cable is, depending upon what you have. But then the live performance audio, it takes the latency down. It increases the echo tremendously. It's crazy wild. So you have to have super isolation between your microphone and your earphones. What it's meant to do is, if you have musicians playing in two different locations, they can play a duet together. That's what it's intended to. But you have to build out on the hardware end that isolation. You have to have a separate channel, I find, for the earphones than you do the microphone. You're not just using a USB headset. That's not going to be good enough. You have to break it out.
Yeah, it's looking for an audio interface, Jason, is what I'm hearing.
Or a DI box or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you're taking your audio mixer, you're running a left channel, let's just say, your left channel out on your audio mixer into your computer microphone input, and then you're running from your audio mixer an aux end as your monitor to the in-ears or the cans that are on the head of the musician. And then it's acceptable. And if you're not getting into that, like you can't have two members from your Sunday school classroom on an iPad flip this switch and expect it to go well. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Very cool.
Jason, when you tested it practically, can you actually play music or sing in a synchronized manner? Because the singing is really difficult because you can hear it, but of course the video will be then later than in the audio channel.
As long as the tempo of the music is slow enough, like you could not I haven't been able to. I'll just say that. I won't say that you can't. I'll just say I haven't been able to get a jazz quartet to perform at a snappy tempo. It's not going to work for that. But if the music is slow enough and you've got, one instrument doing a whole note and then the other one is ba 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 ba, okay, yeah, then that works fine. And same with choral music, if the tenors are whoa doing this and then the sopranos are popping off the rafters, sure, then that'll work.
It's interesting. Sticking on audio for a while, I also have personalized audio isolation on a Mac. I don't see it on your Windows machine. I wasn't aware that it's not available on Windows.
Right.
Personalized, I think, is there, Jason, right?
No, not that I see. Let me just double
Yeah,
check.
personalized audio isolation. Robert, is that what you're talking about?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in the microphone modes, Jason. I've at least got it on my PC anyways.
All right, let me start at the top of the window. It's probably one of those things that's right in front of my face and that I can't see. Not that y'all have ever experienced that before, I'm sure.
It's right underneath the noise removal.
All right, so
it's the exact opposite that musicians want, though.
Yeah.
Noise removal, default, original sound, high fidelity, echo, spatial, audio profile.
No, it should be a choice above that, Jason. That's interesting.
Right in here.
Yeah, I have
it's
that.
It's not turned on the back end or something.
Or what version of the app are you
That's
using, Jason?
exactly the next thing that I was looking at. Stand by for that.
Yeah, and while that's happening, I'll show what I see, everybody.
6.61.
Interesting. Okay, I've got 6.6.1. All right, and I'll show what I've got here. Let me see here. That's probably a bit better.
I have a question about Zoom.
All right, here we go. And let me know, guys, if you see everything properly.
I can see you.
You see me. Did I do the wrong share?
Myself.
Wrong share. Okay. All right, let me try that again. Let me see if I get the right screen this time. Okay, here we go.
It's almost cocktail hour.
Okay, let me highlight that.
While you're fooling around, I have a question for the panel.
Yep, go ahead, Frank.
Halloween's in a week. Usually we get an update Mondays for Zoom. This week they had a Wednesday update. That was kind of weird. So we're currently on 6.65. Do you think we'll get a 6.6.6 for Halloween? 666.
Supposedly they're saying that is happening on Sunday, was what David
But
said.
will they number it 666 or will they jump over to 667 just to avoid the controversy?
Currently in the document it says 666. So that's interesting. Maybe they're doing that on purpose.
I don't think I can install that on my computer. I'm going to have to wait for a better, more...
Yes, a more stable version.
A less demonic version.
That's semi-fair, actually, to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to bypass that update too.
All right, let me try it a little differently here.
But Frank, in all seriousness, as more and more societies go to a post-Christendom society, like that whole reference is going to be lost. People just won't get it.
It might be a hell of an update. Who knows?
Frank is back and he is in fine form, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just telling you that
again,
right now.
The hate mail after the show. Why did you let him back in?
The ratings went up.
Yeah, controversy is always good for ratings.
Yeah, I'm watching the watching numbers to see if they go up or down, Frank. All right, there we go.
Personalized audio. I see it.
Yeah, right there.
Recommended for crowded environments. Okay, so it's... What does it do? Voice print to optimize. Okay, so I guess this is where it uses the AI to do noise removal.
It makes a voice print of you. It learns your voice and then it isolates everything except your voice. And the reason I bring this up is I recently had a couple on one laptop, and they were sharing the laptop, and the voice pattern had learned his voice.
Oh no.
And when the lady started speaking, you can hear her.
Yeah, isolated her.
And it just
That
and
makes total sense.
it
Yep.
makes total sense if you know what you're looking for. Yeah.
I wonder if you could train it simultaneously. Like both of you speak the paragraph it forces you to read.
I think it's going to start convulsing, Frank, would be my
Maybe,
honest answer
yeah.
to that.
So, and I'm going to look right now. I wonder if that is tied into your Zoom account settings as part of the AI bucket.
It's right in the title though, personalized, not group voice.
Well, I know how they intended it, but that doesn't mean that's how it actually works.
Just to put the privacy
Points right there.
people at ease, it's the voice isolation that you record is stored locally on your computer. It doesn't go to Zoom's servers.
And the answer is yes, indeed. It is a setting in the portal that I have turned off.
Do you remember why?
I think we've got two ends of the pole of the magnetic pole over here. David Paston switches everything on. Jason switches everything off.
Security
That is
first.
the correct answer. That is the correct
Security
answer.
first. The least amount of things possible.
That's it. Yeah, zero trust. I start with zero trust. That's just how I operate, and then we build off from there. So, yeah, no, the default position is door closed.
A lot of our settings are off but unlocked. If you want to use them, you can, but we start you in the safe position.
Okay.
Now, Frank, question for you related to the auto adjust that we're playing with earlier, which was
Which the camera auto adjust?
Yeah. Any feedback from the faculty and friends?
Not a peep. Not a peep.
Were you able to disable that for everybody? Because it looks like it's enabled by default.
No. I actually don't know where you disable it for everybody. I thought it was a client side feature, not a server side feature.
As far as I know, that's what I've experienced.
They don't say client anymore, they say application. But I've been in Zoom so long, I say client.
I hear you. Okay, so no feedback, so no news is good news, as Frank would say. So
potentially, though, Frank, where it might be is, you know how you can do the this is not the right term. It's the MSI version of Zoom.
It might be available there, but we only use that in labs and offices. As far as individuals downloading it on their personal gear, I couldn't see a place to turn it off. But you're right. The flags might be in the MSI options. I haven't looked. We're not doing that again until January, so.
And Frank, when it comes to you guys pushing updates, you initialize the push, right?
Yep. Unless there's a critical security issue, we do it between semesters, so 3 times a year.
So right now, what is everybody at the school? 6.5?
I'd have to go look. Something like that, yeah.
You're not that far behind.
We did the last one in end of August. And we'll do one
Maybe
in January.
6.4 is what I'm feeling.
Somewhere around there, yeah. I'm usually on the latest one because I don't use this for production and I want to find all the problems as soon as they come out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like me. I'm the guinea pig for the office. Absolutely. Break me, go right ahead. I can fix, but everybody else, no. Yeah, I don't want to be having the team reinstalling Zoom because we took a push that we shouldn't have.
I mean, at least Zoom allows you to roll back, right? If you install a version you don't like, you can go back a few clients.
Yeah.
Some applications don't let you ever go back.
And the caching situation is probably improved you too, Frank, right? Where they can dump the cache? No?
Haven't needed to use it, but yeah, it's a good feature. I'm glad they implemented that. I haven't had to direct anyone to use that yet either. I'm like, It's been surprisingly since September, so what are we, almost end of October? I've
Mhm.
got almost 30,000 users and very few tickets compared to some years. So this is it's been a pretty stable Zoom release time as far as the desktop application, at least for us. And when I go look at the dashboard, that I don't know, maybe you don't have a dashboard if you're not on an enterprise plan, but it shows you all the devices, their operating systems, what percentage of people are on Windows or Mac or Linux or whatever else. So we're using everything. I mean, imagine 30,000 different people with all their own hardware. It's a little bit of everything, right? iPads, Android, everybody, right? And not that many tickets. About Most of our tickets are about user error or not knowing how to use things, not that Zoom isn't behaving itself most of the time.
Right. It becomes down to user not understanding the certain feature or
There's been a
something.
couple of things where you could say it's Zoom's fault or it's the manufacturer's fault. Like I think Levino released some updated Windows video drivers that weren't playing nice with Zoom, and there was a lot of finger pointing between the driver people and the Zoom people, and who should be fixing this. And those
Yeah.
are hard conversations to get in because I don't know. Is it the driver people's fault? Is it who's doing the compatibility testing? Is it Zoom's job to test every driver on the planet, or is it the driver's people responsibility to test it with Zoom and make sure? I don't know.
Was that a Zoom room or was that just a
No, that's just
regular desktop?
vanilla Zoom client.
Right. So again, if it was Zoom rooms, I would say they should be working with the vendor. But when it comes to just the workplace app itself, that's between, as far as I'm concerned, the vendor. Was that Lenovo, Frank?
I think so. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't want to say 100%, but I think it was. But even right now, Tahoe, was it 26.2 or whatever, has problems with Zoom. Is that Mac's fault? Like, is that Apple's fault or is that Zoom's fault? Like, who should have done the compliance testing? I think it's Zoom's fault if the operating system people are having a problem because they give developer preview operating systems to anyone who's a developer. So Zoom's obviously an
Yeah.
Apple developer. Why didn't they test it? I don't blame Apple for that. I blame Zoom for that. But
Right. Well,
you get
yeah.
in
When
these
it
finger
comes
pointing things and it's hard to know, like shared responsibility.
Right. When it comes to operating system and Zoom, yes, Zoom should be checking, if they're not installing Zoom on Windows 11, God help us all that everybody now is moving to Windows 11. Yeah, they should be definitely testing on Windows 11. What version of Windows 11 they're testing on might be debatable. They should be keeping up with the latest and greatest, especially before
Well,
Microsoft again goes to the next one.
they should be on preview versions that regular people don't have access to yet, right? They should be in
Right.
front, right?
The
Yeah.
challenge
Well,
with Windows stuff though is, and I have pity on these people, is a Windows environment is different on a Dell, on an
Oh, I
HP,
know.
on a Lenovo, because of all the drivers that are involved. Every manufacturer wants their own little special sauce for the audio and the
Of course.
video. And then Windows wants theirs. The 24H2 problem that was 6 months of an unmuted mic. And it's like, okay, and then here's poor Zoom, like, hey, look, we just need this thing to work. So, I mean, at least that's minimized in an Apple environment.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. Like, it's complicated, probably more complicated than I understand. But if
Yeah.
you're
And
if you're Zoom, you should be getting driver previews from most of the major equipment manufacturers, and you should be testing it. But I mean, it's probably a lot to deal with, right?
Yeah, it's a similar problem that Giles, and if Giles is still watching too, Giles will remember the NVIDIA saga that vMix had, which was that at the time vMix was not very much speaking directly to NVIDIA, and what ended up happening was NVIDIA did a push of a new driver for their graphics card, and it broke vMix.
Right.
It just went
So I
boom.
mean, it's not just Zoom. All companies in the high tech industry have these issues, and it's really frustrating for end users. But you know, it's gonna happen. It's
Yeah,
really bad
but
if you only have one device, right?
yeah,
But I remember when
but
we were developing apps for Samsung phones, Samsung actually has a platform where developers go in and you reserve simulation time and you load your app once and it goes on to all of the models of Samsung phones that you selected, and you can test them on all of them. Yeah? And you have to go through that test before they will accept the app into their app store.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a
when I
cool
was
setup.
yeah, back in my days, and I'm going to age myself. Back in the days when I was helping start Keek, if anybody remembers that chat platform, um, we were developing. Again, this was the very early days of the, that all of a sudden a smartphone actually could be smart. We're moving from, where the actual cameras with phones actually were starting just to have cameras. So I was getting all kinds of video garbage coming in, and I had to come up with all kinds of different scripts and convert the video and be able to post it up so that everybody could see the keeks that are being made on phones. But yeah, we
320
had the
by
same.
240.
Oh, I was getting all kinds of wonderful things. Trust me, I was getting things backwards, forwards, upside down.
Yeah.
I was getting things uncompressed, compressed, audio fully compressed, not compressed. So basically, I basically had to check the junk that I got in from all these different phone manufacturers because nobody wanted to standardize back then. Everybody was like, I do my secret sauce this way, I do my secret
2
sauce that way.
words: Sorensen squeeze. If you know what that is.
Oh, talk about my age coming out there, Frank, and reminding. Oh my God, Sorensen. Oh my Lord. But yeah, so I would take all the garbage coming in and convert it to something that we could actually post up and be usable. And oh, by the way, Mike, we want to do that within 30 seconds of getting the video. Great, thanks. Love you too. The people that were the owners of the company were like, okay, cool. But getting back to the scenario there too, we had like similar what Robert was talking about with the Samsung situation. At least Samsung actually was nice enough to do that for you guys. Samsung didn't even contemplate this back then for us, and we barely had a Samsung. Samsung phones were barely coming out at this particular point, because I remember Nokia was involved. I remember Samsungs were involved. I remember, so we had our Android app as well as we had our, iOS app. So the iOS one wasn't as bad. So, but again, there was no way of testing because Mac never had a testing environment, nor did any of the vendors. So we actually had to go to a third party that literally had in their data centers racks of phones sitting in these on shelves, and literally we could actually see that when we install the software on those in the testing environment, because we were allowed to have it up there for like a half hour, we're renting space on these phones instead of us buying 30 40 50 different
Sounds
models
primitive.
of phones.
There was no emulators back then?
No, not at all. Not at all. They were barely, Frank, they were barely making the phones at this particular point.
Did you have fire then?
Did I have fire?
Was the wheel invented?
Well, initially, what we ended up doing before we found this third party that Keek ended up doing, we started buying a whole bunch of models, and so we were starting to collect. Oh, okay, yeah. And then all of a sudden, the Android guys were literally having like 10 phones at their desk, going, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I tested it on this one now. Yeah, okay, plug this one in, install it, unplug it. And again, the archaic way of being able to install the software we had to do from the PC over the USB to the phone.
This sounds very much like a documentary I just watched recently about when the Palm Pilot was invented, and BlackBerry, and all the interesting things that happened during those times and how they got those things to market. And it's amazing they even produced an end product.
Yeah.
I think I saw something similar, Frank. And then Palm Pilot took it from Apple Newton, and Apple Newton took it from, what was it called? Magic devices?
I think we watched the same show.
Magic something or other. I can't remember what that startup name was.
My go-to is when it's not working on the Zoom desktop client is, does it work on the browser? Can you join a Zoom meeting from your browser? If you can't do either, then I know you've got some serious issues with either your operating system or your hardware.
When you join from the browser, are you using any of the Zoom plugins for that browser?
I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean like Zoom Music and stuff like that?
No. So, because I don't. So, if I join a Zoom meeting through the web browser, I'm opening up whatever web browser, go to the web page, join from browser. Okay, it runs there. However, Chrome has a Zoom plugin. Maybe plugin isn't the right word because I know some of them call them add-ons. There's one. There's one for extensions is another term. I know there's Edge has one. I think there's one for Firefox as well too. I don't use them, but what I guess they kind of do is kind of like back in the day when it was like a little Java applet plugin.
Yeah.
So
I don't do that. I almost never run Zoom from a browser because it's feature limited compared to the desktop client. But when I have done it, I just run it vanilla. No special plugins or extensions or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason, I don't even know, to be honest, if you actually have access to the marketplace apps within the web browser. But that's actually a really good question. I don't know that answer.
And the reason why I ask is because, you're supporting your end users, right? And so there are 13 different ways that an end user could potentially come into your meeting. So that's just why I was asking on that one.
Yeah, there's so many ways, like especially if you turn on the Teams Zoom integration that allows Teams meetings to join Zoom meetings.
Oh,
that's a thing now.
I've kept those separated.
So have I.
I can understand
how much
why
longer,
someone.
Frank?
Yeah, I can understand why someone would want to do that, but
yeah, shh. Don't tell anybody that it can be done. Shh. Yeah, exactly.
Have you actually seen it working?
I keep them separated because to me it's like showing up to a drag race with a Volkswagen Bug.
Where they really want them is in Zoom rooms, in dedicated rooms that use Zoom rooms, because they want everyone from anywhere to join from anything. And good luck with that, especially with some of the appliances, Zoom appliances, or the like Neat Bars or whatever.
Yeah.
And on top of that too, Robert, again, I'm going to go back to the marketing Zoomtopia versus the Zoomtopia technical one that they actually did have, and I'll go, how many people knew about it? And I'll talk about that in a minute. But the marketing Zoomtopia, as I want to call it, the original one, as you saw, also they are partnering too with Cisco WebEx. So similar scenario too, that you could bring WebEx, probably coming soon. And Frank hasn't saw that yet, I hope.
No, I knew about it. I've seen it. We don't have. I'm sure there's some independent users who have WebEx accounts, but we don't have a campus-wide WebEx thing.
Right, and nor any hardware WebEx related.
Maybe it would depend on what. There's the rooms that are sort of bookable for the whole institution. Then there's something called departmental rooms. Departments sometimes are like the Wild West. They go and get private contracts and have vendors put whatever they want in there. We're trying to stomp that out. But if you want to have a departmental situation where you've got some kind of geek on your team who says he knows what he's doing, go have fun. We can't stop you, but we can't help you when it breaks either.
Right. Hands off.
Assuming all those would come in through the web app, right? I mean, how else would that work? I mean, an SDK, but I mean, it's probably just using. I mean, because the workplace app itself, as we know on Windows machines, is running into WebView 2 Windows, which is a different Chromium type of deal. So, assuming that's how they would just extend it to bring a Teams in or to bring a WebEx in and play with the Zoom
I have a
room.
feeling it might work a little bit like how Office 365 calendars work in Zoom. You have to get the Office 365 administrator to give you the secret keys and stuff so that you can do an integration between the two platforms. And it's server to server level conversations that are happening for the communication. I'm thinking you probably have to do something maybe like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought, Frank. Yeah, it feels like to me, and again, I think we're going down the SDK route too. I don't know if it'd be as far as that, but I think it's more what Frank is talking about, where that it's more Zoom servers now know that it's a Teams client coming in, and there's going to be some sort of
translation or something happening.
Yeah, handshaking, translation of commonality of some sort that automatically teamifies Zoom.
But I always see a lot of people posting in the Zoom community and stuff, this isn't working and that's not working. And, you know, because they're two different fundamental technologies that have their own approaches to things, there's always going to be that friction, right?
Yeah,
Robert probably has experience bringing different client organizations in from around the world who have their own centric, we're a Teams place, we're a this place, we're a that place, right?
I've never actually used the integration. So I brought them in on different machines and then produce
that sounds safer.
Produce something that goes out. But it's really it's unidirectional then.
Yeah.
Because you can't get the actual integration. But I have a funny feeling that it's actually using SIP, SIP.
Yeah. Session initiation protocol.
Yeah, and not going through an SDK or some sort of. I don't think that's the way it's going.
So we're going back to the old SIP.
So Zoom has something called Zoom Connector, which is for SIP. That we used to have our Polycom systems hooked up to.
Right.
To
I've
Zoom
used that SIP connector before. Yeah.
So it might be some sort of agent. Maybe that's a better word. A Teams agent, maybe, that knows how to talk Zoom. I don't know.
SIP is it's a protocol, right? Is that the right term?
Session initiation protocol.
I mean, I don't want to say it's back from the old days. I will say it's been around for a while.
It's a standard.
It's a standard. It's been around for a while, and it's very stable, and it was probably one of the first things that actually worked in a video conferencing
room. I was using video conferencing in the 90s, and we were using SIP.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know when I was at Disney, it was all SIP rooms that we had worldwide, and you could dial anywhere in the world just on a corporate extension. You could any of the parks or whatever, and it was all SIP. You just had to know the magic numbers.
Yeah, and if you look at
the magic numbers in the Magic Kingdom,
that's right. Everything was magic. That's how the whole place ran. Was magic. And when the magic didn't work, we just had to sprinkle a little bit more magic dust on it, and then suddenly it worked again.
And we called Mickey.
Well, only to celebrate. Mickey. He wasn't around when actual work had to be done.
Oh,
but he'd show up for the celebration.
Attaboy. All right. So what was I going to say? So the integration is definitely interesting. Obviously, they did it with Teams, and now it looks like it's coming from Cisco gear of sorts, at least anyways. Will the Cisco gear actually have Zoom client capability within the gear?
There's lots of video conferencing appliances, like hardware out there, and some of it's Team centric, some of it's Zoom centric, and some of it is probably WebEx centric, and some of them claim to do more than one protocol. How well they all work, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that this is where it's going now, because they know that the closed systems are being screamed at. So all their customers that have, the infamous WebEx, I think, wasn't Ern talking about that she was doing something like that, Robert, last week?
Yeah, that's right. And this is all on Cisco-based platforms, and they do have they do work with SIP. So if you buy the CDC license, it's actually a SIP license that you put in all of those magic numbers, and it connects up to the conference room, which is a Cisco conference room. But what I haven't heard of is if on that Cisco conference system, you can log in through a CDC that is owned by Zoom, and one that is owned by Teams at the same time. I don't know how that integration works, if it even exists.
There are people out there getting paid a lot of money who have to understand this. I don't have to understand it, luckily.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. But again, I was just going to say too, if anybody ever sees, if you've got the phone numbers enabled for your country or your region, you will actually see in the list, I believe,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, the SIP number.
Yeah,
at the
you
bottom.
can. If I think you can turn it off, but yeah.
So it is there. So if the gear has got SIP capabilities, potentially.
We used to do it. We dismantled our Zoom worked and Teams worked so well for so long that we got rid of most of our video conferencing dedicated.
The SIP endpoints.
Yeah. I think there's one or two left floating around, and there's some private ones, but most people are pretty happy with Teams or Zoom. I mean, the biggest thing I get is there's people who are fiercely loyal to either Teams or Zoom and don't want to learn the other one. They only want to do one or the other, and some of them are the Teams people and some of them are the Zoom people.
But it seems as if that's changing, because I attended the Zoomtopia, not the marketing one, but the technical one. It had a name, and one of the specific sessions that I attended was one by a guy called, I think his name is Kenneth Patrick, or Patrick Kenneth, I can't remember. And he talked about the Zoom Microsoft 365 integration. And the way he showed it, it is really seamless, the integration itself.
Mine's more about every organization has a culture and even subcultures. I just find in my organization, the people who are more management orientated use Teams, and the people who are more academically, like teaching and stuff, are more Zoom. And maybe that says something about strengths and weaknesses of each platform. Like having your Microsoft documents immediately available in Teams while you're having a manager's meeting, maybe that's very desirable. But trying to teach 300 people something in a meeting, maybe Zoom has got a better user interface or something. I don't know.
But this was more on the platform itself. So there was a lot of talk about team chat, and I didn't realize how important team chat is in Zoom, and how well that integrates with the 365, making the documents that are shared between the two platforms available in team chat. Seems as if team chat is becoming the Zoom Workplace is becoming the module to have open by default, and then go into a Zoom meeting or go into anything else, you go in from there, as opposed to the classical way of logging into your Zoom account, leaving it in the background, and then generating meetings in the portal and starting.
And I think that was a conscious marketplace expansion, right? Because when Zoom started out, it was all about being a superior video conferencing phone, right? And then look at the competition. You had before Teams really got up to speed, it used to be instant messenger and network meeting, and then you had Slack and Salesforce was all its integration. So all these people that were like, look, I need to type text to my team, pull up documents, and look at the same thing on the screen at the same time and do all of that. And so Zoom's like, well, we do screen sharing really well. We do video really well. Yeah, but can you post this document onto a team channel? Well, no, not yet. But now you can, right? So I think that's kind of the market that they grew into, and quite rapidly.
In his talk, what he said is that Zoom and Microsoft Teams or Microsoft 365 are the main players in the corporate world, while Google just about doesn't exist in the corporate world. It's mainly used, when you look at usage, by the SMEs, basically. And so the integration has become natural from their point of view, because they stop competing and create a common platform that is usable by everyone in the corporate world, and that's where their money is.
I don't know about Europe, but I'm going to speak broadly about North America. Google put a lot of energy and money into education, especially uh, um, elementary, grade kindergarten to grade 12, trying to get into high schools and all those sort of schools across all the states. And that's sort of where Chromebooks came from, because schools needed cheaper hardware.
That was an old strategy they borrowed from Apple.
Sure, but so Google occupies a lot of space in lower education, and there's even universities and colleges that are Google schools. But I agree with you, like for corporate, I don't think Google went as deep in corporate sort of venues or institutions or whatever.
They had a lot of resistance getting Google Workplace adopted because most of your enterprises are already Microsoft, right? They've already got Microsoft Office. If they were a Windows-based machine, it was default Internet Explorer, and people rarely installed anything else, and then that's what they've been using for the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Microsoft is the new IBM.
Yeah.
Business adopted Microsoft, right?
Yeah, and Teams was already loaded on the platform, and so people were using Link, was what it was called back in the day, an instant messenger, and then that grew into Teams, and then it integrated with SharePoint. You could post documents in there, and all for free, because it was already paid for by the enterprise. So, yeah, good luck, Google or any other competitor, trying to get in when you already have that much adoption rate so high.
I'm not shedding any tears for Google. I'm sure they're doing just fine.
Oh, yeah, they're doing just fine. Yeah.
Yeah, just peachy. Very, very peachy. All
Just
right.
coming back to Zoom for a second, and
absolutely,
I was mentioning that the Zoom Workplace, if you go into the Zoom Workplace and you go into your settings, you've even got a new item there, and called My Account. And you can go into your portal account from that location. So they're not even promoting logging into the portal anymore. You do it through the Workplace, going through settings.
Isn't it just a shortcut, though?
It's a shortcut, but what I really like about it is the fact that it shows you all the different places that you're logged into.
Yeah, that's useful.
Yeah.
That is useful because you used to have to dig around for that before, and now it's right there in your Workplace app. And so if you left a login laying around somewhere, you can go in there and close it down.
The most important part of that is at the very bottom of that window, it has a sign me out of all my devices. Because there's so many times that someone's still logged in somewhere and they keep trying to fix something on their situation, and it's because they've got some iPad or something lying around somewhere that's still logged in, and you can't fix it till you sign out of everything.
Yeah. That's the best
Before, I had to do it for people as an admin. I could sign people out of everything. Now they can do it themselves. But most of them don't know it exists.
I didn't know it existed till very recently, actually. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, I'm also seeing in that section too, Robert. I don't know if you're seeing it on Mac. They're talking about video recognition in there too. Upload an image of yourself to be used for smart video recognition features in Zoom services. I don't know if it's because of my license. Yeah, it says you have an existing image for smart name tags for video. You want to reuse
it's for
your
smart
existing?
name tags. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
Do you want
that's
to reuse
not coming
your
till
existing
November
image,
though,
or-
right?
Yeah, supposedly.
In November, Zoom doesn't always release on the published schedule, but they're supposed to release to the general planet the Zoom smart name tags in meetings, which they've had in Zoom rooms for quite a while.
Yeah, so in Zoomtopia, they were just emulating the Zoom rooms. Because I saw it on the
Zoom
technical.
smart name tags are part of Zoom Room's Smart Director, I think. And I guess it's trickling down into Zoom meetings because it's pretty popular.
Yeah,
I think
and
there's
the
a
fun
limit
thing
to
is-
how many smart name tags you can have in a meeting, though, too. Like if you've got 300 people, I don't think everyone gets a smart name tag.
I did remember seeing a number, 80 or something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't remember, but there is a limit. I mean, for most people, that'll probably be plenty. But we do a lot of meetings where you have hundreds of people, right?
But why would you
But they
use
wouldn't
a
all
smart...
be in a conference room,
That was my question, actually. Yeah.
right? Because
Why
the
would-
smart meetings or smart Name tags. That's too many terms. It's like we have to have a glossary open just to talk Zoom. So the smart name tags is meant for the situation where a person walks into a huddle room, multiple people walk into a huddle room, and it logs into Zoom, and it says conference room number 4 on the name tag under the webcam. But then because the user has submitted a voice print and submitted a video picture, it says, oh, I know this is Frank, and I know this is Robert, and I know this is Mike. And so then it populates those name tags in there so that when Robert's speaking, it shows that Robert is speaking. So, I mean, that's cool.
Or even when you have a view of 4 or 5 people in the conference room, it should be able to attach the name tag to the individual people.
Does it do it in the participant panel? That's what I don't know. Or does participants panels say conference room 4?
I haven't used it, so I don't know.
I haven't seen a demo of it for Zoom meetings, so until November, I don't know how it's actually gonna be. Like, we can guess, but
yeah. So there's not only the video; they're calling it video recognition, but they're also saying voice recognition too underneath it. And the official, if I hit
voice print.
And that officially is when I hit the information button, it says Zoom will use your voice recording to enhance your audio experience and or identify you as a speaker when you use Zoom services.
Zoom services. What do they mean by Zoom services? They don't necessarily mean Zoom meetings.
No, they mean anything Zoom. So like for instance, that voice recognition, that's the where we were talking earlier, where when the guy spoke, his voice came through, but then when his wife spoke next to him, it was background noised out.
I was just thinking of other products like Zoom Phone, like voice recognition on Zoom Phone, or something. I don't know. Who knows where they'll manifest it?
Yeah, because again, the workplace app is also your Zoom Phone app too. So
it is, but you need the license. But my point is, Zoom has so many other products that we don't ever talk about, that who knows where these things will manifest. Like lots of times they develop technology at Zoom, they're using in multiple products at the same time, and sometimes it's used slightly differently depending on which product you're using.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I don't know how it's going to manifest yet.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I know I don't remember, and again, it might have been through the Zoom Test Kitchen that I've added my own smart name tag, but I don't remember. But it says I have an existing image for a smart name tag for video. Do I want to reuse your existing image for better automatic recognition?
So in Zoom rooms, like let's say you go to a business or something and you're sitting in a room, a corporate room, and there's 30 chairs, right? Smart tags work because you're using a shared PTZ camera that's panning to the loudest microphone. You're not logging in from your individual computer and Zoom's going, oh, you're so-and-so because you've logged in as so-and-so. You're just a face in the crowd. What Zoom Smart Tags does in those situations is it identifies you based on who you are, like your facial recognition. That's how it works in Zoom rooms, like because it couldn't know who you are otherwise, right? Like,
right.
But I don't know how it's going to manifest in Zoom meetings because we all had to log in, so our names are right below us already, right?
But there again, you get conference room 4. How many times where I've got a training environment and there's 6 people sitting in one conference room and they all want individual credit for attending the training.
But that probably means that their person or their hardware doesn't support smart tags, or they haven't turned it on. But
they may have not turned it on yet, and submitted their little sample print.
Theoretically, the way it works is 6 people walk into a conference room and there's one camera, and someone starts talking, the camera pans over to them, and it goes, hey, that's Bob. And it puts Bob as the lower third on the screen, even though Bob's not logged into anything, right? It just knows you're Bob.
That's right. Well, it knows you're Bob because you submitted a voice print and you submitted a video print.
Yeah.
Now, here, and we might have talked about this a couple of weeks ago, I don't recall, and the technology has changed since then, but the situation like, okay, so does that data, the voice print and the video print, get shared across Zoom domains? In other words, I may submit my print for my college domain because I want to walk into a huddle room and be automatically recognize. But now, what if I go to a client site and I walk into their room? Am I going
I
to
don't
get
know the answer,
recognized?
but here's what I'm gonna guess. The administrator of your Zoom organization can probably turn that offer on, and then you at an individual level can probably turn that offer on. Zoom's pretty reasonable about privacy and security. They're pretty good about that. I don't think they would just allow that to happen without first your organization opting in and then the individual user opting in. So I think it's technically possible, but I think there would be safeguards in place.
The question is, what is turned on by default,
But
right?
Zoom's pretty weird about things like outside people joining your meetings from outside organizations. There's a bunch of settings for admin about that, whether or not you want to capture their email addresses, do they have to give consent? There's all kinds of settings in the Zoom admin panels about those outsiders from your organization. Can they share documents? Can they not share documents? Can they, can they be part of the AI or not part? Like, there's a lot of settings about that.
Yeah, we were showing some of those earlier with in the account settings, the data sources tab.
This kind of reminds me of the old conversation we had a long time ago about why can't I make a person at another organization, why can't I schedule a meeting and make them a co-host? We all have Zoom accounts. Why can't I do that? Maybe one day Zoom will allow that, but right now they don't. So I don't know the answers to any of your questions, but they're good questions.
Yeah, the closest to that, Frank, right now, I believe, is the events platform.
Yeah, but a lot of people are still angry. Like I'm part of I don't know, something, an international group of people who meet monthly, and we wanna make someone in Argentina the host of the meeting this week. Can't we? How come we can't, schedule it that way?
Yeah.
I don't want to show up to the meeting and make them the host. I want to schedule it in advance. And it's because you're not part of the same Zoom organization, and people are frustrated with that limitation, right?
Oh, Zoom Test Kitchen, right?
Yeah, I had to do that when David was away.
Yeah.
If everybody remembers, I basically set up another Gmail account, and then David ended up adding that Gmail account to his org, and then I was able to then.
I can think of some reasons why it would be problematic. Like your organization's account has settings that might be wildly in defiance of my organization's settings. So does Zoom have to have some kind of protocol that says when two settings are in disagreement, be Switzerland and have some neutral approach to it or something? Like, I don't know.
Fair.
I could easily see that problem happening because, like, I have a Zoom EDU account, right, for that environment, and there are things in there that are different than Zoom for enterprise version, the Zoom for everyone else version. I don't want to confuse it with the professional and the business and the free license, the not educational version, and now the not military version
or
of
government or healthcare.
Yeah, where where Zoom has customized them to certain security based on their needs, right?
I just come back to the all these smart recognition tools, the image and the voice. In the portal, one of the things you can do is to define the country on which the servers that store your images are located. So that's one thing. Then further down, it seems to imply that your settings are associated with your Zoom workplace. So if you have enabled that feature and you log into a Zoom meeting that is hosted by someone else, but you are logged into your workplace when you do that, then those settings from the workplace will apply. In other words, there will be image recognition, there will be voice recognition. That's what it seems to imply.
It's interesting.
But I'm not sure if I've read that correctly.
I could see technically how that could happen because the Zoom Workplace app is basically just a glorified web browser with its own skin on there. It's not an executable file that not like 5-10 years ago where you used to have an executable file and a bunch of DLLs that were on your machine and da da da. This operates as a web first client. So if the settings are stored remotely somewhere, then they would be retrieved whenever you logged in, however you logged in. It would make sense.
The awkwardness of that is if I have set mine up and you haven't, for example, Jason, and we both go into a conference room together, then I get a name tag and you don't. So it starts to be a little bit iffy at that stage.
I guess it would depend who logged into the Zoom room, right? So if it's IBM Corporation conference room number 4, those rules are going to apply. And then if we go next door over to the university into huddle room 2 or whatever, then those rules should apply.
I've just realized I've just spoken a load of rubbish because that it doesn't know anything about your workplace when you walk into a Zoom room or into a conference room.
Well, a conference room, you're using the iPad to log into the room, right? The room has an account. The room is a user.
Yep.
So that's where the permissions are, I would think.
But the smart tags are just recognizing you visually because you've agreed to it on your personal account, right? So how does that transcend outside of your organization? Because you're not, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
It
it's
definitely
like you
makes
said earlier, Frank.
Is it in the some Zoom settings are in the cloud and some are in the local application, right? So does that mean, like, I know your voice print is stored locally. It doesn't get uploaded to the Zoom server. At least maybe in a new iteration it will, but specifically for voice isolation, the voice thing where you read the paragraph, that's stored locally on your local machine.
Yeah.
And the local machine is the one that actually does the churning too.
Mm-hmm.
To recognize. Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Because it says here, if enrolled for the smart name tags, their uploaded voice recordings will be used, that's the users, to identify them as speakers during mic-enabled audio interactions from the workplace app. So it seems as if that if I'm logged into my workplace app and I have enabled that feature, then whatever meetings that I attend from my workplace app, I will have that feature available. But that doesn't really explain the situation where Jason and I walk into a conference room.
No, that's different. Definitely.
That's different, isn't it?
I wonder what would happen, just to back up to your first part of your scenario, if you didn't log into the Zoom Workplace app, but you logged into a browser to join a Zoom meeting. Would you go, oh, no smart tags for you, you're not in the Zoom Workplace app? Because the browser obviously has less functionality than the desktop application does, right?
Yeah, well, the browser, unless the browser can pull in the data from the Workplace app, Frank, the answer is no. And I'm from the developer point of view, I know that for a fact that, again, a lot of the config stuff is stored locally for the most part, minus what you can configure in the cloud. But you're right, there is that 2 scenarios. So if you're expecting a lot of the extra functionality that are in Workplace app locally, and then go into the browser and think you're going to get that same experience, you're not.
Yeah, I can't imagine you would get the whole.
Because the browser's not going to be smart enough to go, oh yeah, find on that machine where the Zoom app is installed, and then grab the config file from there and then add it, because now I'm connected.
Plus, a lot of privacy people would have a freak out if Zoom did stuff like that. They'd be like, why is the browser inspecting my application files to retrieve information about me? Stop doing that. I logged into the browser for a reason.
Right, exactly. And again, too, depending on the browser too, the browser might have its own restrictions too, where it won't even look at a lot of things too. Like I'm running one now called LibreWolf, which is an open sourced dumbed down version of Firefox, and that one is really locked down, where it gets to the point where you basically have to tell LibreWolf that certain domains are okay if it asks you questions, if it actually allows you to ask things. It's that locked down. I'm like,
so to go the other direction, do you know about Comet browser?
That's the OpenAI one?
Yeah. So
Yeah, continue.
and I'm sure more browsers are going to be like this, but it's agentic, and it can go through a whole web page that has like questions and things you have to click on, and it will read those things and answer the questions and click on the things and take actions. Like it's problematic. So like one thing that we're worried about, and lots of schools are worried about, is we have this software called learning management systems. There's lots of them. Blackboard, Moodle, Sakai, Canvas, Brightspace. There's many of them. Anyways, instructors put quizzes and stuff inside of these things, so the student logs in through their web browser, and then they have to say, what's the third element or something, and there's 4 choices. This browser can go through and look at the question, retrieve the information from the internet or from a large language model or whatever, and then say, oh, that's the right answer, and put the checkbox in, and you're not even holding the mouse or touching the trackpad. It's answering the quiz questions. Like, so what's to say that a browser eventually won't be able to do some of the things we're worried about or discussing?
Right.
In Zoom.
Right.
In Zoom, right?
In Zoom, let alone, all the learning things that we were talking about, taking tests for you and stuff like that. Even to keep the bad actors out of the room, where you have to, click on the little CAPTCHA codes to verify I am human. It'll do that. I mean, I shared where I had my entire closed Zoom meeting recorded and posted up on the web, and a whole AI transcript and all that kind of stuff.
My laptop has a biometric sensor that I use my fingerprint to authenticate. Maybe they need to put a DNA sensor to authenticate that it's really me doing things.
Something. Right?
Yeah, it's going to get interesting because, again, like you were talking about the CAPTCHA stuff as an example, Jason, I already know that there are already workarounds for CAPTCHA. Just the fact of, how you can actually, if a web page wanted to, they could bring in the CAPTCHA from that other web page that you need to make sure that you capture it. And they've already said that they know that the CAPTCHA box is standardized, that the check is here. So they will initial some sort of click of some sort in that box area. So then, then magic of television capture. So it's, it's going to, so as you guys were speaking about this, I was starting to think that the web browser is basically going to become something that sort of can happen right now. And it's sort of, but it's going to be more and more, what I'm envisioning is a scriptable web browser. Meaning, as soon as you open the browser and you basically, before, this is the URL I want you to go to, but I want you to do this.
Well, you'll give it prompts, right? But
yeah.
So what I've heard as a temporary solution, I don't know how effective it's going to be because this is always a game of cat and mouse and it accelerates, is let's say you have a server that's serving a web page and you don't want these kind of browsers. You can decline certain like browser agents. You can say, oh, identify as this kind of browser. You're not allowed to participate on this web page with this kind of. But I mean, browsers can spoof other browsers too in developer tools. So like, where does it end, right?
But that's where my mind was going, Frank, was like, is there a setting within the Zoom admin where you can just allow certain browsers? I mean, yes, it can be spoof, but I mean,
I've never seen it, but that doesn't mean they're not working on it.
Yeah,
because it identifies who joined your meeting and what browser they used and what operating system they were used. So if it's querying those things and giving me a list, potentially I could whitelist and blacklist. That would keep the honest people out.
What about people who know how to spoof browsers?
Yeah, I mean, someone with a deep level of understanding would still be able to get in, but it would prevent. It would prevent a lot of actors that had low or no skills or hijacked accounts.
It would, but the people I'm worried about aren't the script kiddies. It's nation states who are targeting politicians or the stock market or something that's lucrative. Those are the people who put that kind of energy and have the skills and the tools and the resources to actually create trouble for government entities or businesses or corporations. I'm not as worried about the script kiddies as I am about, the security for important meetings.
No, I get what you're saying, but I had a webinar recently where someone came in, recorded the whole thing. We had it locked down in Zoom. They recorded it all on their end locally, packaged it up, posted it on another website, and resold it.
Third-party meeting bot?
And I'm sure they had a few tools in play. We're still trying to figure out exactly how. But something like that, where if I had some way to say, okay, authenticate that this is a human, rule out these browsers that can automatically check these boxes. I've already taken care of probably 70% of the risk, I would think.
I agree, except 75% probably wouldn't be reassuring to a government agency that's having a policy meeting or something, right?
Right.
Mike,
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to be here next week. Are you going to be here next week?
Yes. Why?
All right. I'm just going to throw something out. It's related to this. Zoom is now allowing Zoom AI to go to other meetings in Teams and other places and be your, how Firefly and Read AI and all those third-party meeting bots, and they
Yeah.
invade Zoom meetings. Now Zoom is saying, we can give you a third-party meeting bot to go to other non-Zoom meetings. That might be an interesting topic to discuss next time.
Ouch. Yeah.
So the thing
So
that
now-
everyone complains about happening to Zoom, Zoom's about to do unto others.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Yeah. So, Jason, I do want to get back to what you brought. That was last week or 2 weeks ago, and how far you've gotten with that as well.
Yeah.
AKA webinar.tv. Is that what you're touching on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the domains.
Yeah.
There's not a lot more that I can comment on that one. Just
We
to
can
say
imagine.
it's a work in progress, and we want to keep everyone honest. We want to keep everyone honest, and if you paid to show up, you show up, and you get everyone needs to play within the rules.
Yeah. I actually took a lot. I did take a look at some of the content on that site, and I found one that guaranteed shouldn't be there. Let me just say that, and I'll leave that very loosely because we are on YouTube, so I'll be very loose on that. It was a planning meeting for something coming up very soon in Vancouver. Full stop.
Yeah.
So just to be fair to Zoom, Teams has this problem. Google Meets has this problem. It's not just a Zoom problem. It's a third-party meeting bots are invading everything.
Yeah, that's very, very true. But again, we've as admins of well, Frank, in your scenario, how. No, I won't say that. Yeah, let me go down this road a little bit. You've been able to block a lot of the bots or not coming?
So the way a lot of this happens is that people get tricked, social engineering, into installing them on their calendars and giving them the bot permission so it attacks the calendar, and it harvests the information and the credentials from the calendars. Now it knows when the meeting details are, it has your account details, and then it spoofs you and gets into the meeting. So, the calendar vendors also have a part to play in beefing up their security. You can say to Zoom, you can go into your own meeting and you can block domains, and you can put in a support ticket with Zoom and say, block these domains. The problem is the bad actors can change domains so quickly and ramp up new domains. And it's always a game of catching up, right? So that's problematic too, right? Like maybe Zoom needs more of a how what's the agency that gives out certificates for the web?
Yeah.
Maybe Zoom,
SSL certs. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe Zoom needs a system where everyone's certified, and you can say if you're not logged into Zoom, if you don't have a Zoom account, my preference is you don't join my meeting, so maybe public meetings won't be as useful or frequent, or people will assume taking a chance of the risk that they'll have non-invited actors in their meetings. Whereas maybe some of us will say, if you're not an authenticated user with some kind of guarantee from Zoom that you're who you say you are, you can't join our meeting. Like, they need to maybe step up the security even higher. Like, all of our meetings have authentication on by default, but that hasn't prevented third-party meeting bots from joining some of our meetings because
Really?
they've scraped the person's calendar and gotten the credentials from the calendar.
So they
Again,
show up
everybody
into
having-
the waiting room as a legitimate user.
Yeah, sometimes it's just end user education, but that's always a losing battle when, in a big organization. Zoom Zoom and the other companies need to combat this internally. They need to find a way to protect their clients, because we can't be having confidential meeting information being blasted all over the internet or wherever it goes, Otherwise, they're going to lose market share because people say, well, can't be having those kind of meetings.
Yeah. I mean, you get back to like we used to do it in the military. You'd enter a lead room inside a concrete room. You'd leave all your devices outside,
Mm-hmm.
Secure.
Yeah, that's data center 101 for me.
That's a skiff, right?
Folks, it's cocktail hour.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me wrap this up and tie it in a bow, everybody.
It was nice seeing everyone.
Good seeing you, Frank.
care.
I've been watching you guys on YouTube while you're doing it.
Excellent. Good to see you, Frank. Glad you came back. Of course.
Go Jays.
Good seeing you, Frank.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys. I'll be back.
I'll throw
next
that
Friday
up there.
is
There
my
we go.
anniversary, so I don't know if I'll be here.
Understood.
36 years?
Atta boy. Good job.
Too young for that.
Too
Been married
young.
since I was 7.
There you go.
That's your story.
That's
You're
his-
sticking to it.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly where I was going with that. That's exactly where I was going with that. And on that note, everybody, we're going to wrap this up. So it's karaoke time.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen, where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're tasting it all. Live on YouTube each week. From all
wreck. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us this week on the Zoom Test Kitchen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to let the infamous YouTube gods know how much you love our content. And don't forget, we're here every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and look and convert those to your local time zone. And that will be the best to be able to see us here live every Friday. See everyone next week for another edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. Take care, our friends on YouTube, and we're off to the living room.